Alright guys, BLM here, back, new live stream, really fucking late, but whatever, we're back. Yeah, let's finish the game, fuck this, we're finishing Judgment. I thought about doing Life is Strange, True Colors speedrun, but to be honest, I don't even care enough to do it anymore, to do the DLC, so maybe we'll do it at some point down the road, maybe we won't, but whatever. Again, really late start here. Largely because I've been working on some stuff that I wanted to have like everything that I started done before the end of the weekend. So yeah, did some prep for certain videos, which is why didn't get around to recording here or streaming here until about an hour later than what I wanted to, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, we got a lot to talk about. I mean, we got Survivor, we got Survivor US, we got Survivor SA. I mean, dude, for Survivor US, like, we don't have that much to talk about, but I mean, there's that. Survivor SA, All Stars, we got really just a lot of stuff that I've been working on the channel in the last few days. Hey, Jack. Yeah, that was my Thanksgiving. It was fine. I mean, it was Thanksgiving. I mean, to be fair, half of it was taken up by me working on the cast speculation video for Survivor South Africa. Which, by the way, this is essentially how my Thanksgiving went. Woke up, watched Challenge All Stars 2, took notes on it, then... Oh, wait, fuck. Went to my aunt's house where the family was getting together to have Thanksgiving dinner, I guess we'll say. Yeah, right when I got there, pretty much, I saw on my phone that Survivor South Africa had announced fucking whatever it's called, Return of the Outcasts. So I was like, fuck, I guess I need to make a cast speculation video. So got home, took a nap, and by that point it was like 7:30, I think. And really just right away start prepping the video. Looked at all the casts, got who I thought could come back, got images for all those people. Good. And made a thumbnail, all that sort of stuff. Now I was like thinking, like, should I record the video tonight or should I just wait? Because like the plan was to get the video out on Monday. It wasn't to release it right away and put it out on Friday. But the reason you wanted to talk to her. Yeah, I mean, I finished it in time. What am I doing here? Whatever. Yeah, finished the video. Like, so essentially, I worked like what? How long was it? So it was like 7:30 until like 10:30. I prepped the video. So it took 47 minutes to record it. That was how long the raw audio was. And then you were going to tell her to join forces with Morita. I think it was like 11:30 to like. Am I wrong? Was it 2? I see what you're getting at. Somewhere around 2 or 2:30, somewhere in that range. It took me to edit it, and then obviously export it, upload it, all that stuff. And then like, not normal. Oh yeah, I didn't go sleep until pretty late that night. But again, it was like 3:30 or so. The video was done. I was like, fuck it, let's just release it tomorrow. It's like, there's no point in holding off on this until Monday. Want to have it done already. So yeah, did end up getting that video up. And then we did have the Dynamic Duos video finally come out yesterday, which I really don't care about it, really. I was not particularly happy with that, how that video turned out. Largely because, like, I don't think Dynamic Duos is that interesting of a cast. I'll give it to you. But yeah, that was something. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, that's what I talk about. It's like I find it really underwhelming that the first All-Star season for SA is one that doesn't have winners or runners-up. And like, I don't know if this is like a thing from production where like they didn't want to bring those people because they didn't want them to be targets. Because like, again, we've seen winners be targeted on the first All-Star season of all these shows. And it's like, I do think Rob Bentley and Graham would have been massive targets had they come into this season. But like, it's so underwhelming to not be able to see like those two in particular like duke it out on the first All-Star season. I think that would have been really fascinating. Yeah, Steffi has to be on. Yeah, I think so too. I think Steffi's definitely on. I think the people that are like for sure on. I mean, again, if you're not having Nicole or Rob, I think you have to have Steffi at that point. Yeah, and Jacques is for sure on. Werner is for sure on. Palessa is for sure on. Chappies is for sure on. Santoni is for sure on. Who else is like for sure? And to us, that's probably like all the people that are like for sure. But like, there's a lot of people that are very likely as well. To us, I think you can already put together like the majority of the cast. Like just based off of logic, like unless like these people were to turn it down, but like I feel like the majority of the cast is very predictable. Versus Ray, your winner pick. He's a top contender. I feel like, I mean, the issue is Werner, and I do feel like he's going to come in with a bit of a target on his back, especially on a season without any winners and stuff. Like I think he would have been probably one of the people that would have been the best position had like Rob Bentley and Graham been there. But I think without those figures, I do think Werner does have one of the bigger targets coming into this season. But again, like Werner is a good player. I could definitely see him aligning. Like he's kind of like one of these people that's like it's good on both sides of things. Like kind of similar to. I mean, like Sharn is on top of my mind because one of the videos I just prepped was the global runner-up ranking. But I think he is kind of in that mold where like he is able to bond with like the nerdier side of people, like the people that aren't super like physical, but he's also able to align with those others, like the other like sporty group of people as well. Like I think Werner is probably like pretty well positioned, but definitely has a big target on his back. Hey, it's Mirek. Yeah? Again, got a really late start to stream tonight, but whatever. Maybe to explain Shan a good player? Yes, I think Shan's a very good player. I think she has fatal flaws. In particular, I think she's too. I don't know if loyal is the right term, but like it's like her relationship with Ricard. I don't think she was able to separate herself enough game wise to recognize like the very blatant. Like I rewatched the episode, by the way. It blows my mind that like Shan is still trusting Ricard by the end of the episode. It's like Ricard makes it so fucking obvious that he's like very much considering flipping on her, and she just doesn't pick up on it. And like to us, I think part of it is like she doesn't want to pick up on it. And I think that is probably like a major flaw in Shan's game. I think Shan is probably better than Russell. Like I think Shan's much more likely to win the game than Russell is. Because I legitimately do think if Shan gets to the end here, she wins. But she doesn't. But I think Shan's one of these players that like if she had played when Russell played, probably doesn't win a jury vote on like Samoa or a season like that. Oh, fuck off! What the fuck is that? Yeah, 2022 is too busy. I'm not looking forward to it. Again, I've already scheduled out SA and everything. It's like the schedule's fucked for next year, but whatever. I'm not even going to bother trying to fix it right now because it's not looking good in terms of consistency. Just due to the fact that there's so much, again, Celebrity Big Brother, Amazing Race, and one Challenge All-Stars 2's early next year too. And obviously like Big Brother, like I mean, well, Survivor 42, normal Australian Survivor. I didn't even mention that. It's like fuck me. Really, guys? Yeah, I mean, yeah. Again, like, Survivor 42, 43 at the end of the year. BB 24, Survivor SA, probably another Australian Survivor season at the end of the year. You got BBAU, you got BBAU VIP, you got what we can assume is probably 2 circle seasons. You also got a challenge, at least one challenge season, normal season at some point. You also have Challenge All-Stars 3. There's a lot. Hopefully I can cover it all. Hopefully I don't lose my mind in the process, but we'll see. Yeah, the global runner-up ranking, which again, this will be my 3-year anniversary video. So at this point, like again, I started working on it today. So what I did is I re-ranked everyone. And I got all the images and all that sort of stuff. Obviously, 41's not included yet. I'm waiting for that to finish before recording it. But once that's in, then I'll be ready. But yeah, it's currently at 89 players. There's 2 more left for 41. It's actually, like, the list is pretty different from how it was last time. Again, like, the runner-up ranking is one of my more controversial videos, if you will. And to be honest, I don't know if this will help, but definitely a lot of people shifted spots. And the international runner-up rankings fucked. Like, that's something I did right before I started this, too, is I did rewatch both of my runner-up rankings. And yeah, I mean, there's still unpopular opinions I still agree with, and there's definitely a lot of people changing spots.
Speaking of next steps,
no, I'm not doing mid-season power ranking for Celebrity Big Brother. For Celebrity Big Brother, I'm doing cast assessment if we get enough of a heads up, player ranking, and then review, obviously.
Good. This doesn't have anything to do.
Oh fuck! Didn't mean to do that. I'm trying to think. Yeah. So what shows am I? So I'm doing it. So like normal for video structure. At this point for shows, I'm doing it for BB Can. Oh, I didn't even talk about BB Can in that list of things. Yeah, BB Can. I think.
If that's okay with you.
Or not, I think. Whatever. Sure. BB24. Let's just include Celebrity Big Rigs. It's pretty much the same thing. So that's 3 Big Brothers. I'm not doing it for AU. Fuck that. Then Survivor 42, 43, Australian Survivor, Blood vs. Water, and then probably season 8 whenever that comes. And then SA. So that's 8 seasons over the course of the year. So again, that's a lot. People are going to be mad about Nella. We'll see. I'm not sure. If they will or not, because I mean, like I don't know. He's not. I mean, again, Nella's not like really high, but
civilians can't get that kind of clearance.
He's not low either. So it's like I don't know. I think people will be more upset other placements. I think one in particular I know right away because there's a person that people were upset that I put them too low last time that I dropped even more. So, yeah. Actually, I believe 2 people. I forgot another one, too. What are you going to do? Where are Chrissy's higher. Chrissy is one of the people that did move up. Actually, spoiler, Chrissy moved above Carolyn. I mean, again, this is a rough draft. Like, I'm going to reassess the list later, but it's not, like, literally what I did is had the list of all the runner-ups in front of me, and then I had the like structure of my last runner-up ranking, and essentially I just re-put people into tiers and like did the ranking again, like just off of what I'm currently thinking. Yeah, maybe Parvati is one of those.
It's all pretty much gone to shit after the Patriot.
They were mad that I would have voted for Nell over Nicole.
Separate ways.
I think that part is insane. Like, I don't even think it's a question to me. Like, it's not. It's like not even close to me. I would vote for Nella like way over Nicole. Like, I would never consider voting for Nicole. Is AU 8 confirmed for 2022? It's not confirmed, but we do know that in 2020 the plan was to have 2 AU seasons that year. And I think we can assume that they're going back to that for this year. With the fact that we're getting season 7 or season... Is it 7? Yeah, season 7 so early on in the year.
Yeah.
That I think it's very likely we're going to get another one later. So... Wait, what am I doing? Like, what does this want me to do?
Yeah, he won't be...
Just let me finish the game.
Well,
let's go. Wait, do I just leave? Like, what does it want me to do? Okay, I guess it does want me to. Fine, whatever. Who would I vote for Nicole Chappie's final 2? That would have been tougher. Because, like, yeah, I would have voted for Nella over Chappie's. I think I would have leaned at Chappie's, but it would have been a lot closer. I don't know, like, in Nicole... The thing that's tough for me with Nicole is that, like, even the parts that she was in the majority, she was never, like, out in front. Well, I feel like Chappie's, like, was at least out in front of his alliance. And did, like, actively, like, turn away the flip at the Tide Destinies vote. And, like, he does do things. Like, I don't know if Nicole really ever does anything. But it's, like, also, like, he was poorly positioned at the end game. But to be fair, Nicole was also poorly positioned at points within the end game. I don't know. I think that would have been a lot closer. Yeah, I think SA9 will be 3 tribes, for sure. Again, we had 3 symbols in the logo, in the reveal thing. I think for sure it'll be 3 tribes. I don't think it'll necessarily be 3 tribes of 6. I think it can be 3 tribes of 7. Considering that's what SA7 started out as. Now that does lead to like a unproportionate season gender-wise, which I don't know if they're going to do, but I think for sure we'll get 3 tribes, though. I don't think that's, like, out of the realm possibility. I am worried that, again, like, the like, thing that, like, speculation is that the 3 symbols actually symbolize 3 seasons that they're casting from. Like, I don't think that's as likely, but I feel like that'll be really underwhelming. That if, like, they only see cast from the shows that they produce themselves, season 6, 7, 8. Which I think will be underwhelming, too, because, like, LaRue like, it's not like, even though this current production team only worked on the last 3 seasons, LaRue, the runner of the show nowadays, also did work on seasons 3, 4, and 5. Like, he wasn't the creative director on those seasons, but he was still part of the production crew. So yeah, he should still have inroads there to where, I think it would be just underwhelming if they just completely neglect those seasons. Again, like, it's not like they can get many people from those seasons anyway.
You're gonna massacre the son of a bitch.
But I mean, there are definitely people that, like, they can get. Like, I mean, they can get. Well, again, like Amanda from season 2, I think is the easy person to get. Tajan from season 4 is the easy person to get. I mean, there's a lot of people from SA5. I mean, Xavion, Marion, Shane.
Tell us who the mole is.
I feel like there's one more, but either way. It's like there's people they can get pretty easily from those seasons. So I do think it would be underwhelming if they don't even try and just go for modern. Because again, it feels like a bit much at that point, where like all 3 of the recent casts are getting like 6 people each. Like, it seems a bit much. Oh my god, that's loud. What the fuck? Turn that down a bit. Alright, who'd you vote for winning the show without a runner-up? I don't know what that means. Whatever. Again, like, I don't know, like, when it comes to Haley and, like, would I have voted for Haley, I think that's, like, a tough question. Like, I for sure would not have voted for her over George. But I think if we're getting to the point where, like, if it's Haley and Kara in the final 2, it's like, am I really voting for fucking Kara? Like, am I really voting for, like, am I really voting for Flick also? Like, I think that's the tough thing. It's like, I think that I used to always associate who would I vote for being in line with the, like, where I would rank them as winners. And I do feel like at this point, I don't need to necessarily keep those 2 things aligned. Because again, like, I just can't imagine myself voting for Flick and Kara over Haley. Like, as much as, like, Haley being voted out, obviously, like, does knock her game. Like, I just, like, feel like against okay, can we, like, not die here? Yeah, I feel like against... Oh, fuck off. Okay, I guess I need to use items. Yeah, I just feel like it'll be so weird to like actually like vote to reward. Oh yeah, I guess that's also a thing too. I forgot about that. That Car and Flick were also voted out. Oh fuck me, I hit the mic. But taking that out of it, even then, if they weren't voted out, then yeah, I feel like it would have been tougher. And same thing goes with like a Danny. Because like Danny wasn't voted out, right? So I guess that's probably a better example. Like if Danny like had like one immunity all the way to the end or something at that point. Oh, fuck off. This. You know, it's like I just find it tough to find myself like voting for some of these like lesser players in my eyes, despite the fact that I think Haley's game is like fundamentally flawed. But again, like that doesn't change the fact that Haley would be lower on a winner ranking than like a Danny at that point, I guess. If Danny had won out. Which is kind of why like I do want to redo my Who Would I Vote For video. Again, like I don't think that much has changed, but I feel like I could definitely rationalize a lot more of my thoughts better and like articulate them better. So it's like I do want to redo that video at some point, but I just don't know exactly when that'll be.
God damn!
All right. If you want to know that bad, I'll tell you. Huh? But who is he?
Yeah, it's like I think like Shane again, it's kind of fallen off the map, but I feel like he for sure would come back if they asked him.
Bastards, cop.
Just
doesn't end with him though.
Hopefully they do. Like I really like. Oh, it's so great though to see Shane and Marion back together on a season. And that'll be something I never thought we would ever see. Like again, like SA All Stars has been like a dream season of mine for a while. Where it's like I always wanted to see it, but like I never actually truly thought it was happening anytime soon. Especially for SA9. Like SA9 feels weird. For
the last 20 years.
For that to be the All Star season,
I
but
want revenge as bad as you.
So, what would be my dream cast? Not what we're gonna get. Because again, like, I would have Rob, I would have Nicole, I would have Tom, I would have Graham, I would have Sivu, I don't know, who else? I'm probably even, I don't know, would Vanessa make it? I don't know. But either way, it's like, I mean, actually Hayden,
the tip of this whole fucked up iceberg.
So like I don't know, like my dream cast is something that like we would never like. I mean, obviously it's a dream cast, but it's like, but like in terms of like what we're getting for this season, again, like I think a lot of the people that I want are locks anyway, and like locks unless they say no. Yeah, Palessa, Jacques, Werner, Chappies, Kieran. Oh, I didn't mention Kieran. I think Kieran's pretty much a lock. Santoni. Yeah, PK would be great.
I guess not. No.
I don't think Ashley's. Well, one Ashley can't be there because they're not doing they're not doing Final Tribal. People that made the Final Tribal, but
looks like you brought him back down to
like even beyond that, it's like I don't think Ashley would have said yes anyway. But yeah, Return to Outcasts is a weird. Like I really hate the name. So like I meant to like mention it at the beginning of the video, but like I ended up not doing it until the end. Because like I forgot about it, but yeah, what a fucking dumb name Return of the Outcast is for your first All-Star season. Like, why not just name it All-Stars or name it Second Chance or something? Like I hate that they named it Return of the Outcast. Doral can't be on it, but yeah, Doral would have been fun. Like I would have loved to see Doral back, like kind of in like a Woo spot, like Woo in Second Chance. Of something that like doesn't really fit in with the rest of the cast, but it would be funny to see him try to navigate around a new group of people. Okay. No, it's not worse than HHH, because like HHH makes no fucking sense either. Like it's a long title and also makes no fucking sense why these like groups are being pitted against each other. I think HHH I mean, HHH is for sure the worst name of the Survivor season we've ever had, right? Like, I think Spies, Lies, and Allies for To Challenge is also very bad, but it's like, I feel like HHH is probably worse. I mean, to the point where no one actually says the name of HHH, right? Like, I feel like everyone just says or writes HHH. Like, no one actually says Heroes versus Healers versus Hustlers. But yeah, like, I'm trying to think, like, who else would be, like, who's probably going to be on this season? So, like, again, like, SA8, like, I think, again, Chappies is a lock, Kieran lock, Santoni lock. And then after, I think you have, like, a lot of people that are, like, probably, but, like, not guaranteed. Like, you got Tyson. You got... I mean, like, Rainier's an interesting one, because, like, I feel like Rainier's in a tough spot, with him... Like, he's in a good spot, but also a tough spot to return. Where, like, he's in a good spot because he's on the most recent season. He was, like, potential fan favorite. But I think he's in a bad spot because he is so similar to other people that are bigger locks. Like, he is, like, I mentioned this in the video, he's essentially a mix of Jacques and Werner. And, again, Jacques and Werner are two bigger locks on the board. And I don't think Rainier is as big of a lock. So it's like, I think they would rather have Jacques and Werner than just get Rainier. So I think that's the tough thing with him. But I think he's still relatively, like... Yeah, I don't want Teresa on. Again, like, I mentioned her in the video mainly because, like, I know she is still active on social media and, like, she was on RHAP and, like, she's involved in the community. And, like, and they did give her, like, okay screen time.
It's time to clear the air.
And, like, she was presented as, like, a big, like, pre-merge character. But, I really don't want her to be on. Yeah, I like Jacques. I think Jacques, like, lock from... I think he's probably the biggest lock from Season 7.
Once he gets out, I want to go visit Emmy's grave with him.
I'll be very, very surprised for Jacques to not be there.
There's a lot we have to take care of before we
can... Who else from Season 8? Again, Dino and Carla I mentioned. I think they're, like... If they're going to pick people from pre-merge, I think they're relatively likely. Yeah, Jacques is essentially... I mean, like, Jacques and Adam are not that dissimilar players. Because, like, again, like, Adam and Winners at War, like, I think that's Adam on most seasons. It's just that it worked out for him very well in Millennials vs. Jax. Like, I don't think he played any differently from how he played on Millennials vs. Jax. He literally just played the same game, and that's the game he's always going to play. It's just that it has a very, like, wonky success rate, to me. Oh, CPay's a pretty good contender. I forgot, there was, like, I think CPay, like, I mean, she's probably a lock. I mean, realistically, she's probably a lock. Especially because, like, there's not that many seasons to cast from. So, like, I feel like I would be surprised if CPay doesn't make it on. I love Adam as like a character on the show. I like Adam as a person, but like I just don't think he's the most consistent player in the world. David should have cut Adam at 7, potentially. I'm trying to think, what's for David's best interest? By the way, I did rewatch, that's actually something I didn't talk about. I did rewatch a little bit of Millennials vs. Gen X in the last few days. Mainly because, like, I'm really far behind on the RHAP season ranking podcast, but I did want to get through all of them. So, I did end up finally getting around the Millennials vs. Gen X, and I decided to rewatch a couple episodes. So I rewatched the Rock Draw episode and the Zeke boot, which was pretty fun. But,
he told us his name was Sugiura at first.
Yeah, like, for David... I mean, the tough thing with David is that no one's taking David to the end ever.
Both of us,
like, literally no one in the game is taking David to the end.
We didn't really talk.
And the game did play out for him in one of the better case scenarios.
How he glared at me during the trial.
But it's like, he always needed to win that final immunity.
I couldn't even look him
or, I mean, like, potentially get to the end without
By the way, he told me to tell you something.
Adam or Hannah, but then either way, like, people would have tried to convince Ken anyway. And I think it's a tough road for David to actually get to the very end, anyway.
He wants to visit Emmy's grave with you.
But probably his best case scenario is to get to the end with someone that doesn't have a relationship with Ken, to where they're less likely to convince Ken to flip on David.
With me?
Yeah.
But, like, how would he even get to that spot to begin with? Like, I just think it's a very tough road there.
We're gonna snare the guy.
Like, let's just say he flips the game. Like, if he flips on Adam at 7, he's moving forward with Sunday, Brett, and Jay. I guess at that point, like, he would need to align with Jay, right? Like, I think that's his main, like, winning scenario, is aligning with Jay, getting to 4 with him, and hoping that they cut Jay over him.
I gave up on that a long time ago.
But yeah, I mean, either way, I think it's a very tough game for him to win there.
How loud I scream.
There's more than 3 retrospectives for next year. Yeah, we got BB3, Survivor, Marquesas, and Thailand, which Marquesas is already done. Well, already recorded. I haven't edited, but whatever. And then we also have 2 Australian, or 2 international seasons. We got UK, Panama, and other Australian Survivor 2002. So there's 5 technically next year, and that's not. And also technically, as of right now, at least, I'm planning on doing an A&W 3, or A&W 4, 10-year retrospective, but. And also the Glass House. I'm actually forgot about that. I did plan on doing a Glass House retrospective, which those 2 are less secure that I'm going to do them though. But as of right now, I would like to. Yeah, I'm starting really like I started like a good half hour, or not, an hour later than what I normally would have. Again, mainly because I've been working on some videos. I worked today and decided to do some stuff afterwards. Like work on videos after that instead of just go straight into streaming. Oh yeah, it's just him. Wait, what? No, that's not what I wanted to do.
Yagami-san.
Thank you.
You ready to go to the ADDC?
Yeah, I mean, Thailand, I think at this point, I think I could argue that Thailand's the worst season. And I'm not looking forward to rewatching it. Again, the Attack Zone Challenge, though, is still one of the greatest scenes in the history of the show.
We'll need to take it.
For John Carroll boot ups that used the picture of Zoe eating Snickers. Again, that, like, the entire Zoe is just such a bizarre character in the history of the show. Like, it's so weird to me where, like, she just seems to be very awkward and, like, very, like, unaware at many points. Like, her interactions with Jeff are just so weird. But it's hilarious, though. But, I don't remember what picture I have for that right now. Because I already got, like, I mean, I'm pretty sure I just used whatever they use on CBS. Or Paramount Plus now, technically, for the episodes. But, not sure what that is. Oh, okay. I mean, I think Attack Zone might be my favorite challenge in the history of the show. Like, again, obviously I haven't, like, thought through it at all, because, like, that's not something I think through that much. But, I would assume, like, it's number 1. I mean, yeah, like, Christian, I mean, I don't even know if Christian and Alec is in my personal top 10. Like, it's good, but, like, for me, like, I feel like there's probably other ones that, like, I find more notable as a whole. Like, I think the opening challenge of Heroes vs. Villains is very high. Oh my god, can this guy die? Thank you. Oh yeah, the Hands-on Heart Idol, the first like in Borneo is probably pretty high. Gabon Premier's challenges are fun. I'm trying to think like what was like I really like the pseudo merge challenge. The one that was like supposed to be a merge, but then they like did a tribe swap instead. So like where Maddie saves himself essentially. Alright, there we go. Yeah, there's a lot of weird, like, yeah, early... I mean, it's a very unique season for challenges, Gabon. Yeah, there's gonna be probably a lot of player rankings. How many do I already have scheduled? I guess I can look this up real quick. Oh wait, actually, I suppose Africa is also next year. That's literally the first video of the year for next year is going to be the Survivor Africa review. Let's see. So 1, 2, 3. Wait, Africa didn't show up on this. Oh, because the first cell didn't. Whatever, who fucking cares? Yeah, 1, 2. Oh, fuck. Okay, never mind. I'm an idiot. I fucked up the search. Whatever. Either way, it's a lot. It's a lot of player rankings already scheduled. Yeah, Survivor Africa. Then Celebrity Big Brother. Either way, again, it's not even worth going through all of them. BB Can, all the retrospective ones. Yeah, there's a lot. Oh yeah, I did see the Blood vs. Water cast is essentially known at this point. I'm not going to do a cast assessment though until it's like fully like I'm not going to do one. I don't think I'm going to do it until like was it? I forgot what network does Australian Survivor this one. No, Network 10. Either way, I'm not going to do it until they officially release it. I don't think. Especially because like I don't know who the fuck most of these people are. Again, if it was an all-star season, then I would do it now. I plan on doing cast reaction / assessment whenever the SA cast is leaked. But with like Australian Survivor, with newbies, I should say, I feel like it's just not as interesting to me to do a cast assessment without like more like stuff. And like too, for Australian Survivor doesn't really give you much anyway. But I still rather wait for an all newbie cast, which is like kind of why I didn't do a full blown cast assessments for 41 before CBS released their stuff. What was the other one? Wait, I'm an idiot, it's right there. I feel like this probably doesn't do anything. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Let's just go. I mean, I'm gonna assess as players, like individuals. I mean, I'm definitely gonna talk a lot about the pairs, because, like, I think you'd be remiss to not do so. But, I mean, obviously, like, in terms of, like, winner pick and assessment and stuff, like, it's gonna be, like, individuals. Where's the rumor cast? I'm pretty sure if you go to the Survivor AU Reddit, I'm pretty sure it's there. And I don't think it's actually the entire cast yet either, actually. I think there's still, like, 2 people that aren't known, or something like that. But, yeah, by the way, I haven't really talked about this. Why the fuck is Andy back for this season? I wouldn't have been opposed to Andy being on All Stars. Like, I think Andy's like a interesting enough character, even though he's like a joke of a player on. Oh my god, I'm doing terrible here. But it's so weird that they bring him back for Blood versus Water. It's like, who the fuck asked for that? But whatever. Do I think Australian Survivor could be helpful? I mean, like, I think it would be benefited by having a diverse cast, but I don't expect it to, though. I haven't paid attention. Like, what is the diversity on this season? I didn't pay attention to that. It didn't seem particularly diverse, but like, I didn't pay attention to it. Like, I think it, like, actually, there's probably a little bit more diversity than at least Brains vs. Brawn. But I don't think Australia is the country that I see going out of its way to cast for diversity. Based on the things I know about Australia. Where I don't think it's a big concern for them. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Andy's a very entertaining character, but it's like also weird that like he's essentially getting kind of the Luke spot, not really, because like obviously you have Sandra there. I mean, to be fair, Sandra's kind of the Russell spot, I guess, but like you have Sam and Mark there for some reason, but it is still weird that Andy is like just randomly back here. They see the Queen had an allergic reaction. Oh, you're talking about Lauren? That's a shame. I'm sure she's fine. Or at least you would hope so.
I knew it would all work out.
What do you mean?
Seeing Keto without an appointment.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised. I mean, like, I feel like George probably said no, right? I feel like they for sure asked George. Like, I would be mind blown if they didn't ask George. But, like, I've gotta guess he said no. Like, I don't know why he would come back here. It would just be a terrible decision for him. Or again, he's kind of just blowing All-Star return. Do I think Sandra will play better than Russell? Probably. It's hard to do worse. So, yeah, I feel like Sandra will probably do better. Or I don't know if she'll do better, but she'll play better. I still think there's a lot of potential for her being like a first boot or whatever. Though, like, I mean, if Sandra's in the same tribe as Andy, I feel like Andy seems like the person that Sandra would align with.
Do what you will. Wait.
Like, when I think of, like, the people that, like, Sandra gets along with outside of the game, like, Andy feels very in line with those sort of people. Yeah, I really don't care about your favorite sports team. Like, who the fuck are the Philadelphia Union?
Not how things stand. No, but that's exactly why we need your testimony.
I have no obligation to help you. If you
now, what haven't I talked about? Let's see. Again, runner-up ranking. I start prepping.
You are aware of the consequences that would have, right?
What was the other video I did? Oh, I have decided that I'm gonna do the complex tribe theory video. The history of the complex tribe theory. So I did research into that too. Oh, it's a soccer team? That's probably why I never heard of them.
How can we change your mind? You're in the middle of this whole 89 match.
Yeah, I feel like Nina... I mean, I don't know. Nina could also, like, be an early boot, too. But, like, I think on paper you would definitely suspect that Nina would make it farther than Sandra. I think both have, like, serious first boot potential.
Are you really that scared of
But also, like Sandra, like, I can see Sandra, like, in some miracle making the merge. It's just, like, how is Sandra winning this season?
Nobody's dying if we can help.
Like, how are they letting the again, a two-time winner from America win Australian Survivor? But whatever. What's the complex tribe theory? It is a theory in Edgic that the tribe that is set up, or the tribe in the pre-merge that is shown to be the more complex tribe in terms of getting a lot more of that dynamics shown, getting a lot more like storylines that are presented like as setup for future for things that happen later. Like, that tribe contains the winner, and it's like true in most scenarios. Again, I've done the research at this point. It's like 2 months. I think it's like there's a lot of points where it's like it's kind of arbitrary, but like it is mostly true, especially like recently. I feel like it has mostly stuck in recent seasons. But again, the reason why it's a massive thing now is because everyone, like, I don't know if everyone, but like a lot of people, and me included, thought that Yasa was the Complex Tribe this season. But now it looks very unlikely that a Yasa member is going to win.
Well, you're right.
And like with that, you can say, oh, it's Uwa.
It's easy to tell,
but again, like, we're left with Ricard.
Just
and like, I don't think Ricard's winning. To be honest, like, I think I've thought about it a bit more since. Like, okay, so again, I rewatched the last episode, and like again, like Erica gets credit for that split vote plan for like no reason, and is also the first person to mention the Shan blindside, like everything. Like, I feel like they're. Again, like, she gets unnecessary credit for the Shan boot, and I do feel like that's leading more into the theory that Erica is the winner. So I feel like I'm more solid on thinking Erica wins at this point, but Ricard's still probably number 2, though I think I've probably bumped him down to pretty much being tied with Deshawn. But I don't think either of them are probably winning, but we'll see. But yeah, I mean, like, the complex tribe theory, again, it's a thing that's like being brought up a lot more now. So I was just like, screw it, let's do a video about it. It won't be out until probably January, especially with like December already being pretty full anyway. But then also I can't make the video until after the season, so yeah, it won't be out till like January of next year. But it is something that I did a bit of the prep for.
Not that I'm expecting much.
You think it'd be less common? Yeah, you would think so. But I think it's been more common in recent seasons. Like when we're looking at recent seasons, like I think to call, well, so essentially, like Winners at War, it sticks true. IOI, it definitely sticks true. Where like IOI, like it's one of these examples, and this happens a lot in Survivor history, where like one tribe is always winning the challenges, and because that don't go to tribal, while the other tribe goes to tribal a lot more. However, the tribe that goes to tribal a lot more is not getting like as blatant, like its dynamics aren't being shown as blatantly to the audience as the tribe that isn't going to tribal. Where like Lyro is a tribe that a lot of its content is very like baseline. It's like, yeah, we do see that, oh, like the women are coming together for a vote, and actually, it's like what else is there? But it's like, yeah, I mean, like like the dynamics on that tribe aren't being as fleshed out as much as Vokai, despite the fact that Vokai only goes to one tribal before the merge. And Philippines is also a weird case. Like, to be honest, just 3 tribe seasons are very tough, because, like, to be honest, like, yes, it holds true for Philippines, but it's like it also kind of, I don't know, it's weird. It's weird because, like, I think with 3 tribe seasons, typically, like, it counts one tribe out more so than it guarantee, like, there's one like actual complex tribe. Where, like, again, what's funny this season is that Luvu should be the tribe that's counted out. Yeah, I think they contained a winner.
How's the prep going for Ayabe's trial?
Well, like, yeah, Philippines, like obviously Matt Singh gets a lot more of the focus, but they kind of had to get the focus.
No going back after
because they were going to tribal, so like that's kind of a tough thing there. But like, and like really at the end of the days, you only have Denise and Malcolm moving on from that season, or from that tribe. So it's like, I don't know, it's kind of tough to say it is the complex tribe just because it's like it's literally that and that's it. But it's like, I mean, Tendang is clearly not the complex tribe. I think that's the thing. And then also with Calabao, it's like you know pretty much nothing about anyone but Jeff Kent and Penner.
I just got a call from Yoshino-kun. Sounded gloomy as hell. Apparently, he wants you to talk to Genda-sensei over at the office.
Oh, hey, Main Squeeze. Yeah, a great episode. Great episode of Survivor. I was right.
Anyway,
I'll still say that. like, I mean, like, again, like, once Ricard was shown as, like, the red herring in the commercials or previews, like, I felt like, yeah, it's probably either Shan or Liana, and I think this is probably where the big move is going to happen, but, am I surprised that Sandra would do a Blood vs. Water season? No. I'm surprised that Australian Survivor got Sandra to do a Blood vs. Water season. Because, again, Sandra was in the running with her daughter for Blood vs. Water US for season 27. But I think the thing was that, like, her daughter was too young at the time or something. I think that was the thing that, like, cut them off. But, yeah, I mean, she was in the running for that season. Like, and I think Sandra's, like, one of these people that, like, is going to say yes almost every time they're asked. Like, obviously, after Winners at War, there was some hesitancy there, but, like, I think in general, like, I think Sandra's just someone that's, like, she might as well do it when it's, like, I don't think she is worried about ruining her legacy necessarily. Like, it's weird, but it's, like, she cares about bolstering her legacy, but I don't think she really cares about, like, going on a season and doing poorly at this point.
Is something the matter?
No, not really.
Over here, Yagami.
The Dan Spilo ejection was at the beginning of the finale episode. It probably would be a little bit lower, but, like, not much. But, like, that would obviously be, like, a massive, like, taint on the episode. Like, that's pretty bad. But, like, I think they purposely didn't put it in the finale because of that, though. I mean, yeah, I hope no one goes home due to Do or Die.
More bad news.
But it's like,
Is that how you treat a guest?
I mean, again, I think Danny has serious potential to go home there.
Guess it can't be all bad.
Like, I think it's like 3 people. Like, you got Danny, Heather, or I was actually thinking about this, like, with this last episode. Is it Liana? Like, I think Liana could also go home from Do or Die with her, like, thinking that, oh, this is, like, that she's gonna go, like, because, again, like, obviously this, like, Xander-Liana rivalry is something that has been propped up.
That's right.
Like, wouldn't it be funny if Liana goes home from, like, Xander competing in the challenge, and, like, she wants to go against Xander, then loses to Xander in the immunity challenge, and then goes home due to Do or Die? Like, I think that'll be hilarious. And, like, I think that's something, like, I would, like, I don't think it's, like, out of the realm of possibility that something like that happens. Like, I think that'll be funny. But I think realistically, it's probably more so, like, a Danny, based on the edit, though.
Don't worry. You won't need to say a word.
I think Liana's runner-up. I think she's for sure not winning.
Is a drug of global importance. And Dr. Shono
Trying to, like, runner-up. I mean, like, runner-up. Like, guessing the runner-up based on the edit is a lot tougher, obviously.
Sure, it'll clear the
Yes, I see.
But I very much doubt it's Ricard. Like, I think I can say that at this point.
If you would be more comfortable, we could always call Dr. Shono to the stand.
Like, I think Ricard's either winning or he's going home soon.
Complicated. I'm not sure our jurors would understand.
But yeah, I don't think.
If possible,
I don't think Liana's winning. By the way, we did get the. Was a secret scene that was kind of funny, where, like, we see this, like, brother-sister sort of relationship with Liana and Xander, and, like, through that, like, Liana's just, again, like, blatant talk about how Liana's just, like, Shan's lapdog and everything. It's like, again, Liana's not winning this game. Hi, Sorqua, again, got a late start to stream here, but hopefully we'll finish Judgment tonight. We'll see. Yeah, Jonathan Penner was in consideration for Blood vs. Water with his son, I believe. Yeah, did not make it on. So was Terry Dietz, I think, was in consideration with his daughter, I think it was. Which is, like, kind of weird because, like, his son is, like obviously, like, the thing he's kind of more known for in terms of his family, where his son is the reason he had to leave Cambodia, but I think it was his daughter.
All we have to do now is find a way to corner him.
I Maria posted a picture of her and Xander.
Ask him to testify.
He's still on the run.
Oh, I don't think we're getting a family visit. We're definitely. We're not getting a family visit on this season. Like, there's no way they bothered to fly out the family and sequestered them for 2 weeks just to put them on the show. Like, no way we're getting a family visit. I think if we could get like family videos, that could be a thing. But I think in terms of like actually having the family out there, I think that's very unlikely.
We just need to figure out what to do next. We're not going to win empty-handed.
Yeah, and Danny is the only person that not have a vote against him. I mean, Shan, I believe, didn't have one until this last episode.
What's up?
Yeah, I mean, Danny, again, I think Danny might be the best player of the season.
Now?
And if he goes home to do or die, I think I would have him as the best player of the season. But if he doesn't from do or die, then again, like, there's going to be more blatant flaws in his game. But again, like, I think there's serious potential for him being number one still by the end of the season. Yeah, I'll definitely listen to Shan's X interview. That, by the way, that's something that's kind of underwhelming, is that we have to wait until tomorrow for Shan's X interviews because of Thanksgiving. But yeah, pretty excited to hear what she has to say. I feel like it'll be interesting.
Good news is,
oh, you finished all Spider-Man movies?
Of course.
There's 13? Oh, are we including Venom in that then? Wait, what? Yeah, actually, I don't even get why like her Ponderosa wasn't released. Like, that makes no sense to me. Like, it's literally, like, just schedule her Ponderosa video. It's like, why the fuck isn't it, like, just, like, why isn't it already out? Like, that's just kind of weird, but whatever.
Raiding the casino, Kuroy was probably there too.
What do you want to do, Doc?
The chief prosecutor.
Yeah, how many Spider-Man movies are there? I mean, there's what? The 3 Raimi films. You got the 2 Amazing Spider-Man movies. You got the 3 soon, the MCU movies.
Just want to check in.
You got what? Into the Spider-Verse. You got
Let's roll, Doc.
the 2 Venom movies. Okay, yeah, you posted a link. All right, let's see if my internet wasn't shit. All right, where are we going? There we go. Oh, for some reason, Chrome is just like being such shit on my end. I don't know why. Whatever. Oh, okay. There's like older Spider-Man movies. Is that what those are? Like, I've never even heard of it. Like, Spider-Man Strikes Back. (1978) film. I never knew this thing existed. Yeah, and I never watched the Venom movies. I mean, your ranking's pretty standard, I feel like. I mean, like, I personally would probably I would probably have Spider-Man 1 above the MCU movies. But, and I would probably swap, for me personally, Far From Home and Homecoming, but, and I would probably have Spider-Man 2 above Into the Spider-Verse, but, like, outside that, it's like, it's not that, different from mine. Even though I just named a lot of things that would change. But either way, it's fine. Yeah, Morbius isn't out yet, though, right? Or is it? I'm too honest. Like, I don't really pay attention to the Sony, Spider-Man movies. I think SA Return of the Outcasts will fall in the same category as also. I think it can. I think it seriously can. I think that's like one of the reasons. Like, if I were to guess if this was a production decision to not include winners and runners up, like, I think that's part of the reason why they did it, is to not lead to like all these like big names that go home early, as we've seen on both of the like first All-Star seasons from these shows. So, like, again, that's why I think they're avoiding, like, casting a Rob or a Graham or, like, Nicole Capper, who I think would have also been a big target coming into the season.
I'm Ayabe's lawyer.
Oh, are they're TV Spider-Man movies? Okay. what I think of the... Oh, yeah, by the way, yeah, since my rewatch of the latest episode, I think it probably is the best episode of the season. Like I said immediately after the episode that, like, it's probably, like, second or third. Like, I think it probably is the best after rewatching it. I think I still, like, I could probably do without, like, the amount of, like, I don't know, it's weird because like it's a positive for the episode, like how much they show like Deshaun and Shan struggling with like playing for the culture or playing like for themselves, and like again like like conceptually I like that, but I like don't actually like enjoy it as like watching it on TV. So I don't know, it's like kind of a weird thing, but either way, like I think it's a fantastic episode.
So Ayabe killed him to make sure the truth stayed hidden. Quickly.
And yeah, I mean, it definitely, like, it's gonna, like, I find it tough to believe there's gonna be a better episode of the season. Mind you, I believe Jeff Probst has said that next episode is gonna be the best episode, which,
can speak further once we get inside.
Knowing Do or Die is coming. I suspect not, but we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I think this is probably going to be the best episode of the season. Do I get putting odds so high in my player rankings? No. Mainly because like I don't really give a shit. Like I really don't care about that player ranking anymore. Like I haven't thought about it since the moment I finished editing it, but
someone you betrayed.
Yeah, I would probably still put her around that spot.
I have to say, it was strange seeing how you behaved in Shono's lab. A public prosecutor.
Yeah, both those seasons were dominated one. Yeah, I mean, hopefully that doesn't happen. It will be interesting though to see like, because like coming into this season, like again without winners and without like people that made Final Tribal, it's like who's going to be the big targets coming into the season? Like you would assume like Chappies and like Werner and I don't know who else. Like who else would be the
not long after
big
she started
names?
Showing symptoms, she couldn't even recognize my face.
Actually, Santoni has a lot of like serious early boot potential.
As if she didn't know who I was. Occasionally she'd yell at me, accuse me of being a thief or a murderer.
70 Spider-Man's on a Power Rangers-esque budget. Well, then maybe I'll like it.
It nearly broke me. And yet my brother continued caring for her. He was there when I couldn't be.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Jeff. I have a feeling that by him saying it's the best episode of the season, that probably means it's like Do or Die is gonna happen. Because I feel like that's something Jeff would love. As like, why else would he add it to the game unless he? I mean, like, I think the only way he wouldn't love it is if someone like he loved went home from it. Like if Shan went home from Do or Die, then like I feel like he would be a lot more negative on it.
And yet he was happy,
but
almost as if my success was his.
Again, like I suspect that probably increases the chances that someone does go home from Do or Die.
Go on.
But we'll see.
When we learned that my mother had Alzheimer's, my brother was devastated by the news. He took it.
Wait, there's 60 Disney Studios animated films?
Filled with internal conflict.
I feel like I wouldn't even bother at that point. Like, I mean, I feel like if I were to do a ranking of that sort, like I would just like narrow it down to like bigger ones instead of like just doing like every little one. But
don't worry.
No.
Leave Mom to me.
Yeah, the You Should Have Won people. Yeah, like that's like. Again, the Chappies, Werners, I feel like for sure will be the targets.
And so he continued.
Again, like that's like like I think Werner probably would have been my winner pick had this been a normal All-Star season. But I don't know. I feel like he is coming into this with like a massive target.
But somewhere deep down in my heart,
I mean, maybe Jacques comes in with a target, but like I feel like.
Someday,
I don't know. Because I feel like Jacques is probably like the biggest name from SA7 that's probably going to be back. But also, like, I don't feel like it's like enough as like a threat sort of thing. Like, I think he'll probably actually be decently positioned.
Not long after, Vice Minister Ichinose summoned me personally to fill me in on the details.
He did?
Yeah, but also it's like Heather going home from Do or Die. Like, is that big of a moment though? Like, is Jeff gonna love Heather going home from Do or Die? Like I don't know. I feel like that leans more so towards Danny. But then like I don't know, especially if like Jeff and Danny didn't like got into arguments over twists and stuff. Wouldn't Jeff love that?
His proposal was quite clear. 89 was a groundbreaking.
Yeah, I think Pixar films are for the most part better than the Disney studios. Aristocrat. I don't think I've ever watched the Aristocrats. Aristocats, whatever the fuck it is. Watched the premiere Champs vs. Stars 1. Yeah, I still haven't watched Champs vs. Stars. So since the last time I streamed, I did finish season 3 of the challenge. Which, I mean, I actually didn't hate by the end of it. I was actually, like, it's still not good. Like, it's still, like, the first 3 seasons are still the worst 3 seasons. But, I feel like season 3 is probably, like, a decent amount above seasons 1 and 2. But, like, and I watched, like, the first 2 episodes of season 4, and it seems fine. But,
did she deserve that?
I'll probably, by the end of this, like, rewatch, which who knows when the fuck that'll happen, I'll probably get around to watching Champs versus. Yeah, I like, Pixar rankings is definitely something I legitimately want to do at some point. Because, like, it's a tangible amount of movies, and I just feel like a ranking of them would be fun. But, like, to be honest, again, like, there's other videos that are bigger priorities, but I would like to do it.
Huh? Tell me, Morita!
Shut up! Just shut up!
Actually, I don't remember. Did I ever watch Coco? I might have not even watched Coco.
You're gonna have to kill me.
And if I did, I think it was like one of these things that like I put in the background while like not actually paying attention to it.
Maybe Terasawa deserves justice too. And I'm not stopping until I get it.
But like I've watched most Pixar movies, but again, like recent, like recently, I haven't been focusing on film that much. So, like really, the last no, I never watched Coco, but I just looked it up. But anyway, like the most recent,
long time no see.
Like movies from like most like in like again like last few years of movies, I have not been paying super close attention to.
So another 2 versus 1 fight.
Jacques equals Cambodia Spencer? Potentially. Yeah, I mean like Spencer. I mean like I don't know if Jacques has as big of a target as Spencer did coming into Cambodia. Where again, coming into Cambodia, like Spencer had one of the biggest targets on his back. Like it was really what Spencer and Cass. At the 2 biggest targets.
Like hell I will.
You already had your turn.
Ironically, both of them making the merge. Like I don't think Jacques' target is as big. But I think he could be similarly positioned in terms of like again Spencer, like even though Spencer was a mass target, like he also had a lot of allies coming into that season.
Now is the time for action.
I think Jacques could be in a similar spot.
And don't worry, I won't arrest you for.
What do you think of Danny as a player again? I just talked about him. Like I think he's good. I think he again he's kind of very Benny, like Ben-E as in like Ben, like Drebergen. Like I think he's a similar player to that. Probably more likable to more people than Ben, but I think has like a similar level of strategic ability as Ben, and he's like kind of a similar like build. Okay. Yeah, Benny from that's exactly what I was talking about. I mean, obviously he's exactly like Benny from Brains vs. Brawn, everyone's favorite fourth boot or whatever the fuck he was. Yeah, Ratatouille. I personally love Ratatouille. If I were to do a Pixar ranking, and I haven't actually put any thought into this, but I feel like number 1 would be Incredibles for me. I mean, because I feel like that's the movie I have the most nostalgia for, but, like, Ratatouille would be very high as well. Like, I think it would probably be, like, definitely for sure top 4 or so. Like, in the preseason, I'm pretty sure in the preseason I said that, to me, Danny was like a mix of Ben and Alan Ball. And I still feel like that's kind of apt. Like, he doesn't have the frantic energy of Alan, though, which I think is, like, the difference. But I would still, like, stand by that comparison. I mean, yeah, I mean, like, Incredibles, like, realistic. Incredibles isn't that great of a movie. And to us, like, I rewatched it before I watched Incredibles 2, whenever that came out. And, like, I didn't like it as much, but, like, I have a lot of nostalgia for the movie, and I've watched the movie a lot when I was a kid. So it's like, I don't know, it probably would still be number 1. Oh, is this it? Like, that was Champs vs. Stars? Oh, fuck, I wasn't looking at the screen. That was in the first episode, was Camilla in the golf cart and everything? By the way, I also, that's another thing I did, oh, fuck, I'm about to die. Yeah, that's something else I did, actually, I think this was, like, this morning. I rewatched, like, so, for some reason, I just, like, somehow got into the challenge YouTube page. And I started watching, like, some videos from it. And it's, like, through that, like, watched some scenes from, like Final Reckoning and Vendettas and, like, some of these, like, at this point, like, older seasons, kind of. Like, these seasons that don't feel like the current seasons. And it's like, I really miss, like, I didn't do it, like, this is coming from someone that watched these seasons for the first time earlier this year. But, like, I do miss, like, the older school style of the challenge. Like, even, like, back in, like, Final Reckoning, which was even that long ago. Like, it was only, like, what, like, 3-4 years ago? But, like, I miss the challenge being, like, that way. Like, in, like, kind of this, like, trashy, like, it doesn't take itself too seriously. Like, I do wish that the challenge went back to that, instead of now where, like, it feels like a soulless show for the most part. Okay. I think last time I played an idol will remain at Final 5. Because I don't think production, like, I don't think production has an issue with when the idols, or the idols are being able to be played at Final 5. I think for production it's a positive that there's no rounds where, you can't use an idol. So, like, I very much doubt that would change. I watched the one with All Stars 2 cast watching Big Brother and Survivor Challenges. No, I haven't. Like, I saw the All Stars 2 cast watching, their own, or, like, I saw them watching, like, the craziest moments or something like that. And, like, I saw them, like, watch, like, their audition videos. Like, I saw those videos. I haven't seen, other things, though. I did like watching those videos. It's a weird grouping of people there. Like, it's like 6 people that they brought back for those, like, reaction videos. And it's like, it's Darrell, Tina, who, like, fine. Again, good. And then you have, like, Derek Chavez, who's, like, again, like, I feel like I like Derek Chavez now more, but it's, like, it's still weird. Derek Chavez is, like, one of the people there. And then you got, Janelle, for some reason? And then you got Melinda, for some reason. Then you got Nehemiah, which I guess is more apt. But it's like a weird grouping of people that they're getting for these reactions.
You have no reason to be here.
Like, it's so weird hearing Sojiro's voice.
Kaito-san, let's go.
You should take a break from bigger rankings. I mean, yeah, like, I would definitely not take or go on a quest to watch 60 Disney movies. It's some BB challenges at BB. So is this on the YouTube? Like, I definitely I would be interested in watching that. Let's see.
Get back! Everyone step away now! Shut your trap, asshole! What station you from? Think you're tough shit, huh? What's going on in there?
What are they doing?
Looks like in there was bad.
Those guys are Matsukane family, aren't they?
Let's see.
Right. They're probably
Oh yeah, there it is. I didn't even see that. Yeah. All-Stars react to the craziest Big Brother and Survivor challenges.
You know? What?
Yeah, I'll definitely watch that with their stream.
Hey, there he is.
You already watched 10 movies?
Come on, we're out of here.
Actually, how many movies have you watched in the last... how many movies have you watched in, like, last 2 weeks? Because, like, haven't you done, like, the Spider-Man movies? You've done Studio Ghibli, and now you're doing this. It's like, how many movies is that?
Yagami-san. When I heard you
recasting Big Brother All-Stars? Again, like, I mean... my dream cast of Big Brother All-Stars is essentially my dream cast of that, but if we're talking about, like, with realistic options, to be honest, there's not much.
I couldn't take that risk.
I mean, like, was I that negative on the cast? Like, I feel like I wasn't that negative on the Big Brother All-Stars cast. I was just very negative on how the season played out, but, like, I didn't feel like the cast was bad on paper, based on the people that they could get. Because obviously there's, like, people that, like, would have been cool and like that they probably could have gotten in other circumstances, but like couldn't with the current circumstances. Like Rachel would have been a lock had she not been pregnant. Vanessa would have been more likely had she not just had kids. Then who else was there? Danielle Reyes said that she would have played had COVID not been going around. So it's like based on who they had to work with, like I don't think it's a bad cast. Like I mean, obviously I would replace Christmas with someone, but like Cody, Enzo, Nicole F. I would for sure have on. Tyler I would have on. Danny I would have on. David, like probably would swap him out. Memphis is like question mark. I would probably have Kevin on. I would probably have Dave on. I mean, I would have Dave on at the time. Who else is there?
Wait.
Yeah, there. Yeah, Ian for sure. Again, probably would swap out Bailey. But Kaser, Janelle I would have on. Nicole A. But I knew she was going to be on. Then Keisha, I would have on. So it's like there's not much I would change. Like it's more so that like the season just sucks. More so than the actual cast being bad.
Hey, what the hell was that?
What do I think of Dan Lembo as a player? I mean, he's bad.
He's got a black raincoat.
And what's sad is that he could have potentially won if he got into the end, but like due to nothing of his own doing.
Who are you?
The only BB challenge you can think of is the wall. I mean, I think the wall. You got Otev. You got
What the?
I don't know what other notable challenges. Spelling comp, but they don't really do that as much anymore. No. You watched 4 movies today? That's quite a bit. Have I thought about doing a Survivor Wars possible cast? Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like I would need like a All-Star season to base it around. I don't know. Like just doing one like out of the blue just seems kind of weird. But
today's trial.
No.
Illegal human experiments discovered in.
And also, like I feel like
We're
just not gonna get, like, I just feel like with modern Survivor, it's tough to really have a worst possible cast. Because I don't think there are that many, like, realistic people to return that, like, I would be, like, really opposed to returning. Because, like, I feel like most of the people that Survivor Production doesn't like are the people that I would not want back, are the people that Survivor Production probably doesn't want back either. So, I don't know. I slip and slide, yeah. Like, how many other, like, challenges are, like, I mean, obviously you got, like, the Yankee swap. It's like, you got the endurance comp where they swing, or I don't even know what the fuck it's called. The one that Tiffany won this season. I don't know what that's called. Yeah, I guess that is true that Disney movies are typically shorter. I would be a better Big Brother player, I think. And like, it's probably not even close, really. Just because, like, I really don't see me doing that well. Fuck. On Survivor. I mean, a pressure cooker, but, like, that's been a thing that's, like, only happened once.
Defendant, please state your name and date of birth for the record.
Kazuya.
I would not do well in the elements.
Born on July 2nd, 1983.
Yeah, like, and that's a lot of the reason why I wouldn't even bother going on Survivor at this point. Like, I don't know if I would even bother, like caring enough to even, like, struggle on Survivor at this point. It's like, I really just don't care enough to, like, go without food for 3 weeks or whatever at this point, 3.5 weeks.
A crooked cop by the name of Kazuya Ayabe.
And then Big Brother, I just feel like I'd lose my mind, like, being in a house for 3 months and, like, not being able to leave. Which, to be fair, it's like, I barely leave my home anyway, but it's like, still. Like, I feel like the idea of, like, actually being forced in there and you, like, literally can't leave without quitting the game is, like, I don't think I could, I don't think I could do it.
This trial is little more than a
yeah, I am doing a recasting Heroes vs. Villains video. I've actually already recorded it. And it should be coming out in January, but we'll see. We'll see how the month plays out. But again, it is a video that, like, is one of these that, like, isn't that important when it comes out, because, like, there's no real context that's needed for it. Like, there's like, it's not like it refers to, like, oh, this is the latest season of the show or anything. Like, it really can come out at any time, but it is a video that I've already edited, or I've already recorded, and as of right now it is scheduled for January, but we'll see. What are Dan's chances in him, Sash, and Holly? Pretty good, I think. I mean, it's tough with Dan, because it's like, can they legitimately sit there and say, we're voting for Dan to win Survivor? But it's like, I feel like Dan definitely gets, actually, I don't know, like, he gets Benry for sure. I don't, like, does he get Fabio? Probably. Like, is Marty voting? Like, I feel like Marty has to vote for Sash in that situation, right? Like, is Marty really going to sit there and say, I'm voting for Dan Lembo to win Survivor? But I don't know. So,
you're the vice minister of the Ministry of Health, correct? Pretty high.
I feel like Alina probably goes. I don't know. That's kind of a weird jury.
Maybe you did something extra special that got you noticed.
Where, like, obviously you have Mortgagegate, which is like the big rumor why Sash didn't get votes, but
oh, come now. Why not indulge
I don't know.
What?
Think back to 2002.
Like, I don't know if they would have voted for Sash. Like, how many situations Sash would have been voted for. Like, I mean, like, again, Marty has claimed that Mortgagegate is not real. So it's like, I don't know.
Naturally, many Ministry of Health officials welcomed this.
Like, to be honest, like, I don't think they were going to disqualify. Like, I like, even if Mortgagegate is real and, like, Sash did, like, promise to pay off Jane's mortgage stuff, which is, like, not allowed in the rules, I don't think Survivor production, like, disqualified Sash and told them not to vote for Sash. However, I would believe it more that, like, the jury just didn't respect Sash for doing that. More so than, like, production outright told him you can't vote for him.
However, the good times didn't last forever.
I suspect, like, Purple Kelly, like, yeah, Purple Kelly and Fabio, didn't Purple Kelly and, like, Fabio date after the show? But, like, even though, like, I know Purple Kelly and Fabio were close on the island to the point where, like, he gives her his jacket a lot, and that's why, like you see Purple Kelly in the middle of, like, the rain and everything, she's always wearing Fabio's jacket. I don't know, like, I don't fully believe that conspiracy theory of that Sash wasn't allowed to get votes.
Are all your arguments going to be based on hearsay?
Was Mortgagegate? It's I literally just explained it, didn't I? Whatever. That Sash supposedly promised to pay off Jane's mortgage if you had won the game, in an attempt to get Jane's jury vote.
Those murders are the result of
and it makes no fucking really, the entire story of Mortgagegate makes no fucking sense either, unless it's like Jane's like this massive fucking idiot, which I could do for Jane isn't probably the smartest person in the world, but like still, it's like, why the fuck would Jane spoil that? Like, why would she like tell production like, hey, he told me that he was gonna pay off my my mortgage? Like, why would she do that? Like, why would she like lessen the chance of Sash paying off her mortgage? Like, why would she not want that? Like, it makes no sense. So I don't know.
Of course, they tried to keep that a secret, but it eventually found its way out.
But I fully do believe that something happened between Sash and Jane.
Have the evidence to prove it.
Especially where, like, from that point forward, they didn't show voting confessionals. To where, before that, they used to show every voting confessional after the episode, like, put them online, and they just stopped doing it there. Plus, also, they don't, what was it? Like, there was something that they didn't show Jane's vote, right? Something like that. But anyway, it's like, yeah, I think for sure something happened there, but,
this secret was,
and like, it probably is, like, Mortgagegate, but like, I don't think they, I don't think it's to the point where production was like, hey, Sash can't win now.
I thought this was about the ADDC. But what you just said would be more pertinent to the Matsugane family.
I mean, yeah, I think Jane legitimately won fan favorite. Like, at the time, Jane was popular from the casuals, and a lot of that was because of the edit. Now, you could say that, like, oh, because of this production edited Jane favorably to where she would win fan favorite. But, like, I think she legitimately won a fan vote.
ADDC researchers were carrying out clinical
I really don't care. Like, I really, like, don't give a shit about this. Like, I'm literally gonna just skip all this because I couldn't give a shit. Like, it just goes on forever, especially if you don't pick the right things. It's like, okay, of course, I'm not picking any of the right things. I don't know. Fuck off. Oh, did I pick the right one? Oh, there we go. We're done. Kind of. Fuck, it's 2 o'clock in the morning already. Big reveal.
What the? Captain Hammer?
Oh yeah, I forgot they do that. Yeah, that they fake you out, right? Fuck, how much more of the game do we have? I just realized, like, we're like an hour and a half into this. Like, we're only supposed to have like an hour left, but it feels like there's more than that. Actually, did any of my speedruns get verified today? I just realized I haven't paid attention to
but if I did,
speedrun.com.
Yeah? And what are you doing here?
I doubt it. Yeah, they didn't. And to us, that's probably playing a factor into me not giving a shit about going back to Life is Strange either, is the fact that how, like, slow the moderators are to verify runs. I got the any percent world record, what, like, almost 2 weeks ago at this point, and my run's still not verified? And, like, I literally have, like, what, 13 runs to be verified from Life is Strange True Colors? So it's like, whatever. Like, I really don't care anymore. Again, I've gotten a PB in every category but wavelengths, and that was supposed to be the stream for tonight. It was to do wavelengths, but I just really didn't give a shit enough to do it. And I don't know if I'm going to be honest. I might wait until someone else does a run and then copy off their strats, because I just don't care enough to route the game. Who gives a shit?
Give him justice.
Part of Organization 13, I mean, yeah. Obviously, that's what his coat there is supposed to signify.
Fucked up, yeah? None of this was his fault.
Actually, I'm trying to look it up right now. Where are we?
I already lost my chance.
Okay, we have an hour and 15 minutes left. God damn it. I really thought we were closer.
This is it. You're the boss.
Oh my god, this game really just drags on.
Put an end to this.
Like, really, this game never fucking ends. Whatever. We're almost done. I can't believe, like, of all the fucking games in, like, the, that I've played on stream, this is the game that's taking us the longest to finish. Like, this is even longer than that one game, Death Stranding. By a lot at this point, too. It's like, how the fuck did I spend more time playing Judgment than Death Stranding? But, whatever. Oh, fuck, I'm back to this. Oh, it's probably not the obvious one, then. This one. I'm literally gonna skip it. I really don't care. Oh, that was right. Oh, cool. Play KH2. I kind of want to, if I'm being honest. Like, I kind of want to play, like, replay the Kingdom Hearts games, but I also don't because of how much of a pain, like, yeah, especially Kingdom Hearts 1. Like, I don't feel like Kingdom Hearts 1 and Rechain, really. I just did not have fun playing those. Like, yeah, so it's like, I don't think I'll play those. KH2, though, I'll be more apt to do. On stream.
You're framing me.
And like Birth by Sleep and the other ones.
That's right.
I don't know though.
Then what if I had a material witness who could attest to its validity?
If I'll do them soon. By the way, I did buy Melody of Memory.
Perfect.
That was one of the games I bought on Black Friday, which I haven't played yet. Though I've played the demo in the past, like, so I know the gameplay, and then I've watched the Let's Play of it, so, like, I'm, like, there's not much for me to get from it, but I haven't played it for myself, technically.
Not who you expected?
Watched the first 2 Hawkeye episodes.
Witness. Who is speaking in this recording?
I'm one of them.
Yeah, I haven't paid attention to the... Like, I think I saw some negative things on it, but, like, didn't pay attention if that was, like, the, consensus. But
where is the chief prosecutor?
Yeah, I was thinking an ideal world. Whoa, it's actually really 94%. I didn't think it was that high. Rotten Tomato. Anyway, I would definitely like to watch it, but I'm like, when am I finding the time to do it?
It turns out he's been abetting crimes for some time now, and so.
Okay, when I haven't even watched WandaVision yet, it's like, when am I getting around to watching Hawkeye?
Keto's up next, right after my testimony. What? The doctor sides with whoever he thinks will win. And look at that. Guess he
I mean, like, Kingdom Hearts, like, yeah, like, I haven't played any Kingdom Hearts game since when I played 3, which was, when was that? Like, was that early 2020? I think it was like at the beginning of 2020. So it's been a while since I played any Kingdom Hearts game. Like I'll definitely be. I feel like Kingdom Hearts 3 is probably the game I'm the most apt to stream, because like Kingdom Hearts 3 is like relatively easy. So I feel like I wouldn't get like super frustrated or anything with it. Well, like I feel like with Kingdom Hearts 2, like to be fair, Kingdom Hearts 2 is not that difficult either if we're just doing the main story. Outside of like again, like I would be playing the final cut, so like we have to do the Roxas fight, which is bullshit. But I mean, outside of that, it's a mostly easy game. No, I never did play Remind for myself. Yeah, I've watched Let's Plays and stuff, but yeah, I never played it personally. I actually don't even own it still. I never bought Remind. By the way, Remind never dropped in price. That's so weird to me. Like, you would expect Remind to be on sale here and there, and I think it was on sale recently, but like for like still like $20 or something. Like, it didn't drop that much. So yeah, I never did buy Remind. Maybe I'll wait until, like, I'll probably, like, realistically, I probably won't play Kingdom Hearts again until we get, like, the next main installment in the series, which I would expect we're gonna get some sort of announcement, within the next year, for sure, of where they're going next, and maybe it's, like, Kingdom Hearts 4, like, whatever, like, the next, like, major game, like, right before that, we'll play, like, Kingdom Hearts 3 on stream or something.
They're gonna kill Kuroiwa.
Yeah, I'll be honest, like, after we finish Judgment here, I'm not entirely sure what I'm gonna play, for sure. Like, there's a list of a few games that, like, I wanna play. They haven't, like, fully narrowed down which one it'll be. Like, I'm trying to think. So, yeah, Hitman 1 and 2, I wanna play before I play Hitman 3 on my own. Because, like, I want to do a ranking of all the Hitman levels from the World of Assassination trilogy. So I need to replay Hitman 1 and 2. And also, I haven't even played the DLCs for 2 yet, actually, now I think about it. So I need to play those for the first time, too. But, yeah, I need to replay those, so we'll play those at some point. Before I play Rift Apart, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, I do want to replay Ratchet & Clank 2016. Not that they're connected, but like I just in general wanted to replay it. And also there's a PS5 patch that like makes it 60 frames and all that sort of stuff. And so it's like, I don't know, I'll be interested in playing that. Oh, by the way, the issue with Hitman 1 2, the reason why like I don't think it'll be the next thing we do is because like I don't want to play it until immediately before I play Hitman 3. That way, like, when I finish Hitman 3, I can pretty much, like, do the video right afterwards and, like, not have, like, this gap in between when I played Hitman 1 2 to where, I would potentially, like, forget my ranking anyway. So I kind of want to make those, like, closer. So again, we'll probably wait a bit for that. I did want to play Plague Tale, but at this point, because like there's the PS5 patch, or not the PS5 patch, PS5 version. But it's like I literally just played it not even like 5 months ago, actually even 4 months ago, but like not even that long ago. And also, I'm gonna probably replay it again before Requiem comes out next year. So it's like I feel like at this point, like I might as well just wait till that to replay it. And what else? Horizon. We're definitely going to play Horizon Zero Dawn at some point, like before Forbidden West, but again, it feels a bit early to do it now. I think we might do it like at the new year. Maybe that'll be when we do that. Yeah, I don't know what else. Like, what else is there?
I've been waiting for this.
I did finish the Universal Monsters collection. How, like, is number 1 even that good? Again, like, this is from someone that's, like, not watched any of them. But, or I probably, like, watched, like, 1 or 2, like, just randomly. But, like, in the grand scheme of, like, film, like, are any of them actually, like, that good? Yeah, so I'm almost done with Guardians of the Galaxy. I forgot to even talk about that. I'm almost done playing that casually. Where, like, I think I'm at the point of no return based on the way that the characters are talking. So hopefully I finish that in the next few days. I probably won't tomorrow because, oh yeah, I didn't talk about that. I got caught up on my Spider 41 review, which is ridiculously long already. Again, up to episode 10, it's already the length of my, I think it's the length of my Australian Survivor review already. Like, it's over 14,000 words. And we still have 3 episodes left, so it's going to be the longest video. I think it's going to be the longest script I've ever written. So I got caught up on that, but I'm going to start recording it tomorrow. So probably won't have time for Guardians tomorrow, but either way, I would like to finish it by the end of the week. And then once I finish Guardians, I guess I'll play Lost Judgment. Now that we're, like, obviously going to be done Judgment by that point. I'm trying to think, is there any other game that I need to do a similar thing? Where, like, I need to, like, I'm going to play the next installment on my own for 2020 in gaming, but, like, I want to play the previous entry on stream. Really like a decent few of them. Okay, yeah. So you're judging it based on, like, well, I mean, yeah, like, if you're ranking all of them from when they were released, I guess you would be, because obviously you'd be, like, assessing them comparatively, right, to all the other ones. What else am I playing in 2021, for 2021 here in gaming? I mean, too much, like, if I thought about it before playing True Colors, I probably would have played the other Life is Strange games, but at this point it doesn't really matter. Like, Oddworld Soulstorm, I need to play Oddworld New and Tasty, but, like, I'll probably play it on my own, though, because I haven't played that yet, either. Returnal, there's nothing I need to play for Returnal. Resident Evil, should I play Resident Evil 7? I don't know if I'm really that apt to play Resident Evil 7 on stream, though. Because, like, I literally just watched a Let's Play of it, like, not too long ago. Hey, Truett. You're finally joining, not at the very end of a stream. We'll probably be live for another hour or so. Far Cry, do I want to bother playing Far Cry? Like Far Cry 5 or something? I don't know if I want to bother. Yeah, I really don't know what I'm gonna stream after Judgment, but we'll figure it out. It'll probably be Ratchet & Clank, realistically, because I feel like that's, like, the easy one to do that doesn't really affect anything. But after, like, that's not gonna be that long. Like, it's gonna be like a two or three stream game.
Let's all just play nice, okay?
Tell me.
We'll see. Ask a question about BB23? Sure. Again, ask whatever.
Bastard. He's on his way to the ADDC.
What?
You appreciate a lot of what they did for a technical level.
Kill Shono.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's
Targeted. He's gonna destroy
kind of what happens with a lot of, like, older movies. Usually, like, the first one is, like, something innovative, and then after that they just, like, do a whole bunch of sequels to make money off of it. Do I think SB could return? Probably not, realistically. Like, I think she's one of these people that, like, if she's asked, she would say yes, but, like, I don't think they want her. Based on the way that she was edited and everything, I don't get the sense that production loved her. And I just think there's bigger priorities from this season to bring back than SB. Like, you got you got Tiffany and actually, to be honest, like, I would have said Hannah at the time. I don't think they're that apt to bring Hannah back, actually. Because I think, like, is Ozza the second most likely like woman from BB23 to come back? I think that actually, to be honest, I'm kind of at the point where I think that might actually be the case. Do I think they could do Big Brother Heroes vs. Villains? I think they could do, but I don't think they will. Because I think Brittany is also, Brittany can come back too, probably. But I don't think I don't think we're getting a Big Brother All-Star season for a very long time. I just don't think they're interested in it, especially after how last All-Stars did.
What's going on? Where's Kuroiwa?
Please, stop.
It's okay, I'm a lawyer. Dr. Shono out of danger?
Danny's highlights of the Cowboys.
We're not really sure if
What was was Danny, what position was Danny, anyway?
I don't even know who was in charge.
It was a safety. Actually, I thought Danny was taller. He's only 6'1". Yeah. Frankenstein, Dracula, Creature from Black Lagoon, you really enjoyed. Fuck the Mummy. I've watched Frankenstein. I don't think I've watched any of the others. Maybe I watched The Wolfman, now that I think about it. Maybe I did. But I have very little memory of them.
Your arms up now. And why's that, officer?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely something I could do, like dividing the tribe, or divide. I mean, would it be called tribes? But yeah, like dividing the cast, I guess, into heroes and villains for Big Brother. But I don't know if that's like a super made, like that's not like a video that I'm like that excited to do. Like I feel like that's something we could like just run through real quick here if I really wanted to do it. More so than doing like an individual video on it. Yeah, I mean, I really like SB. Yeah, I follow SB on Twitch, even though I've only seen like one stream of hers. But like I just don't get the sense the production loved SB. Favorite underrated Survivor player? Like I always find the term like underrated kind of like hard to assess, but I don't know. Because again, I'm trying like. And like Tracy's obviously a good pick, but like is she really underrated by people that care enough to rate her? Like Tracy Hughes Wolf from Micronesia. And probably like Hannah Shapiro is probably an answer, but like Hannah Shapiro obviously has like a massive flaw in terms of managing her perception. I don't know. Island of Lost Souls? I've never even heard of it. I think we have about an hour to the end from this point. Because I think this fight is where I started the last part of my recording of my gameplay from Judgment, which was 53 minutes long, so... Got interception off Eli Manning. I'll be honest, that doesn't mean that much to me. Like, I know who Eli Manning is, but, again, don't know that much about football. Yeah, I mean, I've said this for a long time. I personally would have voted for Hannah over Adam. And, like, for me, like, Hannah's argument of why she should win in her final tribal is a lot more effective to me than Adam's. And Adam's works better with the jury that he was working with. But, like, Hannah's would have worked better for me.
To us.
Why would I vote for Hannah? I think Hannah had a lot more... Like, I think Hannah was a lot more in the know than Adam for a lot more of the game. I mean, there's a lot of points in the game where, like, Adam just gets undercut. A lot of it because he's doing too much. Like, that he's, like... Again, the massive flaw with Adam is that he tries so much to be good with everyone, and through that, like, ruins his relationships with people he should be good with. While also, like, putting trust in the people that he's never going to be good. Like the fact that he tries to still be good with, like, Taylor, after the merge, and that only leads to Taylor like blowing up his spot is like a massive knock against his game. And then like him like trying to get rid of David like over and over and over again, keeps on failing, is like very reminiscent of like Sandra trying to get rid of Russell and failing. And then like the thing that's like annoying to me personally is that like he gets like so much credit from the jury for getting rid of David at Final Four when like none of that was like him actually doing anything. It's like he gets the credit from the jury for like flipping Ken when it's like we see very little of him actually flipping Ken. And like even if he does like flip Ken to get rid of David, it's like after like so many attempts of failing to do so. But again, like for me, it's like Hannah's not like a great player in the grand scheme of things. Like I just did the prep for the runner-up ranking, for global runner-up ranking. And like Hannah's like around the same spot that I had her last time, which is like around the middle-ish of the list. Like it's not that I'm like super high on Hannah. It's more so that I'm lower on Adam. And then like also just thinking in general that like Hannah succeeds more in what she tries to do more of the time. And it was also better insulated within the game.
Really, guys?
Even though, like, again, her, like, natural jury chances were very low. Where, like, I just think, in general, like, the character that she, like, I don't know what the right word is, that, like, essentially, like, the personality that she gives off isn't one that is respected. Why I think Natalie White is a better winner than Amber? I mean, like, to be honest, the more and more time goes on, I think Amber is one of the worst winners. And, like, I'm very low on Amber as a winner. And to be honest, I think as more time goes on, like, Amber's just not a good Survivor player. Like, I really think that's, like, the easy way. So, but, like, in terms of the winning games also, it's like, I think Natalie White was a lot more active, or, like, a lot more intentional, I should say, in the way that she played the game. Where I think a lot of what Amber was doing in sticking by Rob was due to the fact that she legitimately was in love with Rob. Wait, what am I doing? Oh, fuck off. What's this? More so than like actual gameplay. While like with Natalie White, I think she legitimately latches on to Russell with the intention of... Wait, what am I doing? Vibrate here. That, and also, like, I think the way they win the jury vote is also different. Where, like, Amber literally wins because she's against Rob. And, like, they were voting anti-Rob. While I don't think that's 100% the case of why they vote for Natalie, is because they were anti-Russell. I think a lot of her votes were also pro-her. Which I think is indicative of more active play on her end. And also indicative of her win being less luck-based. What am I doing? Okay, this...
Suspicious.
Security, 2 minutes.
Oh, is that it? Well, that's fucking dumb. Why was that even an investigation?
Sorry, buddy. I need to borrow this for a bit. I found one. We can get through the gate.
Yeah, I mean, I would not have voted for Sophie. Like, I would have voted for Coach. Mind you, I'm probably higher on Sophie's game now than what I was, I think, when I did my, like, who would I vote for videos, for sure, at least. But I would still vote for Coach. By the way, Albert took a big dip. I didn't talk about that. Albert dropped quite a bit on my runner-up ranking. I was way too high on Albert on my first runner-up ranking. I don't know what the fuck I was doing putting him so high. Again, not that I think like Albert's like a bad player or anything, but like he definitely should not have been like top 3rd or 4th of the list. Like that seemed kind of ridiculous in retrospect. But yeah, I would have voted for Coach. It's not close either. like, even if the story of, like, oh, Coach was just the figurehead and, like, Sophie and Albert were actually in charge in the background, it's like, even if that's the case, they still allowed the figurehead, the person that, like, was perceived to be dominating the game, get to the very end. In a position where he could very easily win the game had he just said, yes, I lied, and yes, I screwed you over. It's like, if he just owned his game, he would win the game. And it's like, to me, they allowed that person to get to the end is a fault. Even if they're like, again, Sophie is like banking on the fact that, oh, Coach isn't going to do that because that is Coach. But it's like, you're still banking on Coach not doing something more so than you actively doing something. Which is something that I've always, again, I discredit whenever someone is hoping that other people react a certain way more so than how they are actually reacting. Which is why, again, like, when it comes to bitter juries, if someone wins due to a quote-unquote bitter jury, in the sense that the person is banking on the fact that their opponent's going to have votes against them that end up going to them, that is worse to me than someone getting votes that are pro them, because in that case they are hoping that the other person makes a mistake more so than them actively getting the vote outright. Okay, fuck this fight. I mean, I get why people don't vote for Coach, but I still would have voted for Coach. Like, even if people don't own their game, if their game is that apparent, then I would still vote for them. Like, I think if Coach, like, I think if Coach comes into, like, I think if Coach played Survivor 41 and, like, the season plays in the same way, I think Coach wins the jury vote now. Like, I don't think Sophie wins that season, even with like the performance that he gives. I think he still probably wins the current jury vote over Sophie. I mean, I think Sophie is an underrated winner in a lot. Like, again, like, I think there's a lot of people that would put Sophie, like, as a bottom tier winner, like put her with, like, the Natalie Whites and the Ambers and stuff, where I put her a tier higher. Like, I think she's a mid-tier winner for me. Where, like, I kind of look at her more in, like, instead of, like, the under-the-radar sort of tier that a lot of people would put her in, like, I put her in, like, the second command sort of tier. Yeah, also the thing about, like, it's like just the entire concept of, like, bringing someone to the end with the expectation that they're not going to win a jury vote. I think is just, like, also a fundamentally flawed strategy from doing it, like, all the way back. And, like, because, like, with Natalie White, like, we hear her,
I don't know how long I can keep doing
like, what was it, episode 4, was it?
We can't stop.
I don't remember. Like, when was the first time we heard Natalie talk about how she wants to go to the end of Russell because, like, Russell wouldn't win or whatever? It's like, if that's your strategy all the way from the beginning, I feel like that is a fundamentally flawed strategy. And it's also a thing that you're very much depending on the other person being able to dominate the game. And while, again, like, I think Sophie was a lot more active in the game than Natalie White, I still don't think that's the best strategy in the world, to be banking on the fact that Coach is going to dominate the game so that you can usurp him at the very end.
Maybe you're better than you look. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, that is also the end. And Sophie was given probably not the greatest starting tribe for her, in the sense that, like, everyone on there was, like, super religious and, like, all Christian. So the fact that she was able to get within that alliance is kind of ridiculous to begin with. I mean, I don't think that's flawed, but I think it's flawed if that's your strategy from the, like, if you're literally, because like with Sophie, she literally picks Coach on day one and says, I'm going to take Coach to the end because he won't win a jury vote. And I think if you're doing that on day one, I think that is a ridiculous thing to completely bank your entire game based off of.
Do something like this.
Again, if it's the very end of the game, that makes sense. But I think to base your entire game from day one on the fact that Coach can't win a jury vote, when Coach, again, says one thing differently at Final Tribal, he wins the jury vote, I think that is a flawed strategy. And she ends up being right, but she could have very easily been wrong.
Not looking so hot, man.
Like, it's kind of similar, like, it's kind of like Brian Heidick's strategy of, like, again, people talk about, oh, Brian Heidick's the best winner, like, who cares, he only gets 4 votes at the end. It's like, he always had those 4 votes locked in, but it's like, again, Brian Heidick is literally Ken saying, hey, Ted, like, he said he didn't want a black winner away from, like, again, like, he loses the game, probably. Like, it's literally, like, for me, it's like, you're essentially, like, actively putting yourself in a position where the game is, like, so much tighter than what it has to be. Like, with Brian, like, it's like, why like, to me, it's a massive flaw that Brian is coming into the end, in a 4-3, like, pretty much a guaranteed 4-3 vote, where, like, yes, he's getting those 4 votes, under most normal circumstances, but he also, like, does things along the way that could sabotage one of those votes, where, like, he tells the opposition that we can't get Ted to the end because, like, we can't have a black winner two seasons in a row, whatever the fuck he told Ken, because, like, he assumed Ken was racist because he's a cop, which is also, like, a really bad read. It's just, like, instantly assume that, like, a New York cop is, like, racist right off the bat. It's like Brian Heidick's another one that's like, what the fuck is this?
If he's really not guilty, he won't have to. I'll win. But to be perfectly honest,
I think there's a massive difference, personally, between Sugar and Russell.
What?
civil cases have been a mixed bag for me too. I've actually lost more than I've won.
And also, I don't think people are taking, like, into it. It's like massive difference with, like, different flaws. Like, Sugar wasn't being dragged to the end. Like, no one was, like, thinking, like, oh, we're gonna get to the end because we're gonna beat Sugar. It's like Sugar, like, does, like, dominate the game, but does it in, like, a way where, like, she just wasn't respected the entire way through. And I wouldn't necessarily say it's because she has no social game.
Please, Yagami-san. You need to help.
Because it's like she had people she was close to. It's just that she cut those people along the way, and burned them in a way that they weren't respecting her by the end. And I don't know if she ever would have had the respect to win a jury vote, even if she hadn't burned them, just due to, like, again, like, her initial, like, perception that she comes off of. But
it felt too real to just be my imagination. Did you notice
like,
anything?
it's like, I think there's a difference, but, like, also I think Russell was a lot more strategically minded than Sugar. Where, again, I think Sugar makes a lot of her moves based on emotions and, like, who she thinks she could. Like, she's essentially, like, one of these people that, like, thinks she's a good person and wants the good people to win the game, and, like, makes her moves that way by, like, wanting to go to the end with the good people. While Russell is a lot more strategically minded, where, like, he's at least trying to play the game. He's at least trying to get to the end of people he thinks he can win. The problem is that he's, like, misguided in that a lot of the time. And also, he also lets emotions get in his way, but not in a as overt of a way. Where, like, I think he lets emotions get in his way in terms of, like, whenever someone says, like a lot of his, like, interactions with Parvati, and really just the fact that he lied to Parvati to begin with, I think it was very much just because he obviously had a massive crush on Parvati.
This is where Shono is, right?
If he hasn't been evacuated.
I do think Sugar, like, does Sugar win a modern jury vote? I think that would be interesting. Like, if Survivor Gabon were to happen now, which, I mean, Survivor Gabon wouldn't happen now, but if it were to happen, like, would Sugar win against Bob and Susie? Like, I really don't know. Because, like, I feel like with other situations, like, I feel like I can solidly say that, like, rank the jury speeches. I've thought about doing a top 10. I don't think I would ever, like, rank every jury speech, just because, like, a lot of them are boring.
You just can't help but get in my way.
But, yeah, I mean, I think Tony winning was definitely a game changer there. I'm too fair. Tyson probably still wins. Cochran still wins, though I think Don would probably be given more of a shot, but I think Cochran still wins, though. Let's see, 25, Denise still wins. Maybe Lisa's given more of a shot, though, but I still think Denise wins. 24, Kim wins still. 23, I think Coach wins. 22, Rob still wins. 21, I don't know, does Sash win? 21? I don't think it's Fabio. Well, actually, yeah, I don't think it's Fabio. But I think it would be Sash.
He got me.
Oh, I think people, like, I definitely realized Susie was one vote away from winning, which, by the way, I did bump Susie down on my new runner-up ranking. Because, like, Susie was high. Like, I was high from where she should have been, largely due to the fact that she was one vote away from winning. But I kind of realized, like, when reassessing, it's like, I mean, but, like, is that good, though? Like, when the final three is, like, Bob, Susie, and Sugar. Sugar, someone that, like, again, no one respected on the jury, and then Bob, someone who, and really both Bob and Susie were, like, both people that were, like, getting votes mainly due to tribe affiliation, more so than, like, things they actually did in the game. And also, it's like she, like, considering how big of a goat she should have been, the fact that she even needed to win final immunity is really, like, bad to me. Like, Susie should have been, like, a massive goat to get to, and she would have been a massive goat had she been at the end with Maddie. Like, if it had been Maddie, Susie, Sugar, like, Maddie wins near unanimously. Like, only not getting probably Bob's vote, who goes to Sugar. Like, Susie becomes third place. Yeah, that's also the thing. Fuck me. Like, Susie's such a bad player. It's, like, hilarious that she comes so close to winning.
This isn't the end.
Yeah, I bumped Susie down quite a bit. I mean, like, it's not even like she was that high, but, like, let's look this up. Where did I put her?
Explain yourself. You told me that you were going to keep Shono alive.
Again, I would have voted for Susie over Bob. But, like, they're both really bad. like, I think Bob is really bad, too. I mean, like, at least Susie voted in the majority most of the time. Like, what the fuck was Bob doing? Well, also, Bob was, like, actively putting himself at the bottom of the Onion Alliance. And, like, was okay with it. To the point where, like, they even replaced Bob with Randy. like he's literally getting replaced by a guy they just met at the swap. Yeah, let's see, where did I put her? I'm too fair. She's not at the very bottom still.
You're insane.
But I mean, that's because there's 4 international people that end up placing below her. I'm too fair, though. Should she be above Kim Johnson? Like, right now, like, she's one spot above Kim Johnson. Like, should she be above Kim Johnson? Like, I think Kim Johnson's a better player than Susie. But, like, again, Susie was technically one vote away from winning. Both need to win out at the end to even get to be runners-up anyway. I don't know. It's like, I think Kim Johnson's a better player than Susie, but, like, Susie was definitely closer to winning the game. I guess it's an apt spot, but... like, fuck Susie, like, as a player. Would I even put Sugar? I don't even remember. Sugar's quite a bit higher, I'm pretty sure. Like, she's not, like, ridiculously high, but... Yeah, like, Sugar's, like... Still not even at the halfway point. By the way, again, there's 89 people on this list, which is ridiculous. And there's still going to be 2 more people added at the end of the season. Yeah, again, like, Michelle, on my winning Final Tribal performance video, I should have put a lot higher, and I don't know what the fuck I was thinking when I recorded that video. Like, Michelle should have at least been 10 spots higher. Michelle and Fabio, I think, like, that's, like, a kind of equal spot. Like, I think that's around where I would put Michelle, is where Fabio was. And to be honest, I think I even realized it, I think, when I recorded it, that, like, why the fuck do I have Michelle this low? But I decided to still go with it, but yeah, at this point, it's like, why the fuck is Michelle so low? Michelle's a good winner, I can't get with you on that part. But I will say that she does do a good Final Tribal performance. Yeah, being second command means I mean, last thing that I'm trying to distinguish with the runner-up ranking is because, like, I have a tier that's okay. Let's pause. I have a tier that's literally called second command, but it's not actually like second command in terms of, like, they're just following orders and not doing anything else. Like, it's second command as in, like, people that are like second, like, they're second command, but, like, they're also, like, having input in the game. While, like, there's other people that I think you could debate are second command that are, like, lower in the list. I'm trying to, like, so let's look at the list. So, I mean, like a Wu is lower than someone like a Becky to me. Like, those are, like, 2 radically different tiers. Or, like, a Katie Gallagher is on a lower tier. Like, the Courtney Yates, Natalie Tenorelli, Clay Jordan, like, those are, like, the, like, below the second command tier, while, like, I have the Becky, the, like, Jervis to a degree, Tasha is, like, actually in the second command tier, Chelsea Meisner. Like, do you feel like that's something I need to distinguish there? Let's do this one, I guess. Oh, fuck, I should have repaired. What the fuck am I doing? Use the med kit. Oh, fuck, I only have one of these left? Whatever. Who's an overrated survivor player that's not a winner? I mean, again, like, overrated's weird because, like, just because someone's overrated doesn't necessarily mean they're a bad player. But, like, I would say, like, Kelly Wentworth is, like, the first one that comes to mind. But to me, there's probably a lot, realistically. Particularly, I think Kelly Wentworth's, like, Cambodia game is overrated by most people. Proposition, yeah, I think that's an answer. Like, I think he's a great player for his time, but yeah, I would say, like, in the grand scheme of things, probably. Wait, what am I doing? No. Let's do this. Yeah, Tajan would be great on Return of the Outcasts. Fuck that season name. But yeah, I mean, I would love to see Tajan back. And he's someone that's, like, super easy to get back. Like, I'm pretty, like, again, he was just involved in Battle of the Bush. He's still, like, someone that's, like, into the show and everything. He was a massive fan even at the time. It's like, I mean, just bring him back. And he'd be such a great casting choice. Yeah, Ting Ting's also someone I would really like to see back. I mean, like, if we're going to get, like, pre-mergers and that sort of thing, I think Ting Ting's probably the pre-merger that I would be the most excited to see back. Yeah, I think it'll have 3 tribes. And like I talked about this earlier, I think the common assumption is that it's 3 tribes of 6, but I think it could be 3 tribes of 7 because they have tried it in the past. Though I think the thing is, like, it's tough to they're gonna essentially have to be not equal gender wise, and have 3 tribes that are not equal gender wise, which I think is like kind of something that in an ideal world they would avoid, but we'll see. Bring Paul back? Sure. Yeah, I mean, Ting Ting. I think Ting Ting like has a lot of potential in the game. From like, I think she's okay. I'm about to die, but I think she's someone that like seems to get the game strategically, but just like wasn't like in a great tribe for her to begin with. After season, will I do a SA season ranking? I've already done an SA season ranking, but would I redo it? Probably, realistically, probably not. I do think I'll probably do a top 10 player redo though. Which like I did after BB22. So I think maybe that's just the thing that'll make a norm from this point on, is like redo top 10 player lists after an all-star season. Unless it's like Survivor, I probably won't, just because like I don't know how much really changes with Survivor US at this point. But when it comes to like Australian Survivor, Survivor South Africa, Big Brother Canada, Big Brother US, like I feel like those shows, actually even Big Brother US is probably more solidified now after All Stars 2. But definitely after like first All-Star seasons, I would be very apt to do these top 10 player videos again. Who's the better winner, Nicole from SA or Michelle? I think they're in the same ballpark. To be honest, the answer's probably Nicole, realistically. Bring Jason back to us? I wouldn't be opposed to it. I don't think they will, but I wouldn't be opposed to bring Jason back. And same thing with Sheamus. Like, I don't think Sheamus would be the worst person to bring back either. I mean, yeah, like, you'll feel weird at the fucking first All-Star season of your show you're bringing back a first boot, but I'm too pretty genius did that, so I mean, whatever. Think they can cast Chappies and Xavion if they're on different tribes. Yeah, and that's a good point too. I didn't mention that. I feel like archetype-wise they're very similar, and also like very similar, like body type-wise and everything. They're just like very similar. And like obviously, I think Chappies is the bigger priority to bring back right now. But yeah, hopefully they find a way to get Xavion on there. No. Is this the final? Wait, is this the final boss battle? It is, isn't it? Or at least it's the start of it, if it's not the actual end. Okay, come on, just die already. There we go. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the fact that she, like, gets so much respect for taking out Chappies is fucking dumb. But, I mean, like, again, for me, Michelle from Co Wrong just did not play that very game. I mean, to be fair, though, Michelle, like, again, she never goes to Tribal in the pre-merge. She supposedly would have been a boot from Beauty Tribe had they gone to Tribal in the first, like, few rounds. Like, supposedly, like, the Girls' Alliance thing wasn't a real thing. It wasn't even a thing until, like, later into the pre-merge. Even though, like, they showed it in the premiere. Which, again, was a big sign that Michelle was winning. Because why would they even show that? Because, like, we knew it was fake also, like, at the time. Because that got revealed through exit interviews. But,
gonna need a lawyer, though.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's not great. On her swap tribe, she was also someone that was in a vulnerable position there, where she could have gone home had they gone to tribal. Yeah, never goes to tribal until the merge. Yeah, Nesu. Yeah, I didn't even talk about. Yeah, Nesu's a lock. I forgot about Nesu. I think Nesu's a pretty big lock. I would be surprised if she's not on there, especially with like that being the most recent season. I do think she could have been forgotten about had this been like SA11 that they're doing this, but again, like SA8 just literally happened, so like I feel like they'll definitely. I think Nesu will be back. Yeah, the idea of this being 3 tribes of people from the last 3 seasons, like, that's the thing that has been talked about. I really don't want it to be that, though. I'll be very underwhelmed if they do that. Nesu versus Shan, who's better? Probably Shan. But I think Shan, well, I should say, I think Shan played a better overall game than Nesu, but we saw a lot more of Shan's flaws than Nesu's. So I think in terms of like an actual player, I think it's like, I think you can debate either one, but I think in terms of the games that they played, I think Shan's is more impressive.
This? It's a dose of AD9.
Yeah, that's also weird too. They're doing Return of the Outcasts, when it's like, how many of these people are actually going to be actual outcasts? Like, I feel like that's also like kind of a weird thing. I guess they're just meaning outcasts in the fact that they got voted out at some point and like didn't make it to the very end. But like, I just find that really weird. Have they already casted? I assume that they have. I would be very surprised if they don't have a rough cast put together. And I think everyone that's like in that rough cast knows at this point. Because, like, why would they announce this season before the fact that before they have the cast together? I don't think they would be as bold to say, hey, we're having return, like, a full all-star season right now. Like, before the season's even filmed, unless they were really confident they have the cast. So, yeah, I think for sure the cast is pretty much done. Especially because, like, we know that the season's filming in January. That's, like, barely over a month away. Like, I think it's, like, I think they're pretty solid on who's back at this point. Yeah, again, Santoni's a lock to me. I would be very, very surprised if Santoni's not on there. Yeah, I mean, like, actually, maybe it would be interesting to actually, like, play this out, though. If they do Battle of the Seasons, and it's, like, 3 tribes of 6, 3 men, 3 women from each cast. I think that would be... So, like, who would be from... So, Jean can't be back, because she made the final tribal.
Experiments led him to that conclusion.
But yeah, so, should have kept the island thing. Yeah. I love Ghost is dumb, though. Like, actually, that'd be funny if they did Ghost Island and then just did the US twist that Jeff wanted to do initially for Ghost Island. Like, that'd be funny. Even though it's a terrible twist, but that would have been funny if they did it. Yeah, like, for, like, what? If we're doing this for Immunity Island, you got, I think Kieran and Chappies are the 2 biggest locks for men. And then for women, Nesu and Santoni are massive locks. I believe for Return of the Outcasts, it is confirmed that they're filming in South Africa again. But I don't know where in South Africa they're filming. So that's something. By the way, also, with what's currently going on in South Africa with COVID, I feel like they're for sure not filming anywhere else, considering supposedly COVID is really bad down there. And they have like a new strand in South Africa and everything, so very much doubt they would be filming anywhere else. Yeah, Annalise, I think there's a chance of Annalise's return, but not like super, super likely. Yeah, Carla, I would love to see Carla back. And the thing is, though, it's like when we get to these like pre-merge, like strategically savvy women, I feel like there's like a decent amount of these from SA to bring back. to where like how many of them are they actually going to bring back? But yeah, I would like Carla.
Once the disease had finally mercifully taken them.
Yeah, I'm fine with them bringing back or going back to, like in filming in South Africa. I mean, I liked Australia too, and Australia filming there too. But yeah, Amy is someone that I think is in consideration. Yeah, Rainier's tough. Like I think on paper you would think Rainier would be back, but it's like again, like I just think that he fits into the same archetype as both Jacques and Werner, to where like are they really going to want like a third like similar-ish person? So I don't know, but I think he like definitely has a shot. Again, like Teresa's like a dark horse. Like I don't want Teresa, but again, Teresa is still involved in the community, and she is there, and she is someone that did get like a decently big edit, particularly like in the premiere and in her final episode. So it's like I think there's a chance. I don't want it though. I really hope it doesn't have Hein. Again, Hein is not coming back, right? That'll be hilarious. Like, it'll be funny that they got Hein. But yeah, it's not happening. Come on. I really, like, it would be funny, though, if they got someone from season 1.
When a patient is injected,
like, if they got, like, Imzi back or something. Oh, yeah, Plus is a lock. Yeah, Plus is definitely coming back. Like, imagine they get, like, a Jub. Like, that would be hilarious. Or, like, MXO from SA4. Like, all the best people. Like, yeah, I mean... who else from SA8? Again, like... I don't know if Amy or, like, Carla. Like, which one would be better there? Like, I personally probably want Carla, but I feel like Amy would have a better returning story. Where, like, she obviously has the story of her getting screwed over by Tide Destinies and, like, all that stuff. And like, I feel like that's a more compelling returning arc. So I think you could go either way there if you're going to pick one of the two. Because, like, you're definitely not, like, picking both. Like, why would you pick both? Oh, is that a thing? I didn't know Jub went to jail for manslaughter. All right, well, that's... I mean, like, not that I really wanted it anyway, but, like, obviously that's not happening. Manla? I mean, Manla would be interesting. I don't know where to... Like, I've never heard of anything from Manla post-show, though. Same thing with Grant, which is why Grant wasn't on my, like, list of people. Because, like, I've heard nothing of Grant post-season.
The retrial for Emmy's case is coming up.
Maba, I don't think Maba's coming back. Nor do I. Like, I don't think production loved Maba. She definitely got one of the quieter edits of the season.
Right.
Yeah, so again, like from Immunity Island, it is again, I think the 4 locks: Anesu, Santoni, Chappies, Kieran. Then, like, after that, again, you got, like, Rainier and Tyson as the maybes for the men. And again, like, Dino, like, kind of. If like, it matters how many people they get. Like, if they're only doing 6, I don't think Dino makes it. Well, if they're only doing 6, like, if they're only doing 3 people per, like, gender and that sort of, like, if they're doing, like, 3 tribes of 6 and, like, 6 people from each season, if they're doing, like, the Battle of the Seasons thing, like, Dino's not making it. But, like, I still think Dino's, like, definitely going to, like, at least be in consideration. And then, again, for women, like, Amy or Carla is probably the other one. You love Letitia? I've never heard anyone say they love Letitia before. Yeah, so SA7, again, if we're getting 3 people... like 3 men, 3 women. Again, like Jacques is the biggest male lock.
So Shona and are both dead, huh?
Like for women, I think you got Stipe and Steffi as the 2 biggest locks there, and then again the other one, like probably like a Ting Ting. I mean, is probably like the pre-merge person I would consider the most there. I don't know who else is there for women, because again you can't get Nicole who would have been one of the biggest locks on the board.
That's unacceptable.
Like, again, Letitia's not coming back, Maba's not coming back, Meryl maybe, but like I feel like I'll be more interested in a Ting Ting return there. And then for men, again, Jacques is the biggest lock. Mike is probably a big, like I think it's very high likelihood we see Mike back.
Yes.
And again, who's the last spot? Dante? Are they going for Dante? I think the issue there is that, like, I think there's definitely a big lack of diversity there, right? Because, well, actually, I guess for the women, it's all people. It's 3 women of color, isn't it? Actually, what was Steffi? Yeah, Steffi, yeah. So it's 3 women of color there, but, like, yeah, for the men, you're having 3 white guys. So, I don't know if they would go for all 3 of those.
Always ignoring our elders. Right? Old friend.
Yeah, Doral. It's kind of funny. Like, would Doral actually have been in consideration had they, is that the end? I think it is, right? Yeah, would he actually been in consideration? Let's look this up with Jub.
I really wouldn't mind you going back. I mean,
so he also abused his
it's not like we got work coming in.
His ex-girlfriend.
Job at another agency or something.
According to
What are you
this.
talking about? I'm not gonna abandon our business like that, man.
But this is your chance to be an upstanding citizen again.
So, like, Jub just seems like a terrible person, right? Based on what I'm seeing here.
Well, thank you very much.
Kaito sounds right, though, you know? I mean, just think about it. People would line
Wait, he
up
killed
just to have
4 children?
It shouldn't even be a question.
You think so?
Of course I think so.
Yeah, like, what the fuck? Like, what is this? Like, that was a much darker story than what I was ever expecting. Okay. Well, we're not getting Jub back. But anyway, so yeah, SA6. I mean, yeah, Ace would be a fun returnee. I don't know, like, who from SA6? So, again, the men. You got Werner, who I think is a lock. PK is likely, and then Tevin is probably likely, right? But again, like, I don't even remember. Like, to be honest, I don't even remember what Tevin's controversy was. But I remember he did have that a controversy at the time. But I feel like those are the 3 if we're only gonna get 3 men. Like, I feel like those seem pretty locked in if that's what we're doing. But like, Ace would be like the next guy from that cast. And then women, again, Palessa, probably Tony would be the next woman. And then, like, the third one's, like, again, between, like, Annalise, Katinka, Shawnee, and Josie, I would say, right? Again, Josie, if they're going for a pre-merge pick, Katinka, if they're going for a normal pick, I guess. Sade would kind of be a dark horse, and then, who's the last one? Oh, Annalise, which, again, I don't think it's particularly, like, especially if they're getting Tony, who does feel like a bigger lock. I feel like if they're getting one of those 2, I feel like they would go Tony over Annalise. And then, yeah, Katinka, Shawnee, I guess, are probably, like, closer, and Josie are probably closer in archetype there. But yeah, I think they would go Katinka, especially because, like, doesn't Katinka have, like, a big social media following and everything, too? So I feel like that would be a thing favoring her, too. Yeah, like, I feel like that's pretty much who I would expect if we're getting a Battle of the Season sort of theme. But again, like, hopefully we do get some people from older seasons. I mean, again, like, I say 5, you got Xavion, Shane, Marion, who... Oh, that's the end of the game, right? But yeah, there we go. You know, what a masterpiece. Only took us, what, like 7 weeks to finish this game? Mind you, a lot of that was, like, it was, like, because, did the Life is Strange speedruns. But also, this game just took forever. Yeah, Yeah. Katinka's also one of the younger people, right? Actually, who would be the young? Like, who? Actually, how old are a lot of these people? I actually never even thought about that. Like, who? Yeah, who's the old? I'm probably Cipe is like the oldest, right? I feel like that comes to mind right away. Actually, if we bring Proverb back, I don't remember much of Proverb as a character anymore. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't think it's particularly likely. Like, Santa Carolina, I think in general would be a tough cast to get people from, just because it is a celebrity season. And also, like, you could clearly tell no one gave a shit about the game outside of Ashley Hayden. I'm definitely getting a copyright claim, right? I should probably skip this. But yeah. 58 hours. Well, that's lovely. Obviously not the total of this playthrough, but was it 58? So yeah, this playthrough took me 32 hours. My last one took me 26. Yeah, last time I actually did some sub-stories. Well, like, this time I did nothing, but whatever. It's fine. Yeah, Proverb, I mean, who voted for Ashley? It was Proverb and Isaac, right? Were the two? Because, like, Ashley got 2 votes there and then 1 from the public. So, yeah. Yeah, it's fine, too, because, like, Ashley literally just voted out Proverb, too. And also voted out Proverb in what was a bad move, in a move that made no sense for Ashley's game. I still think, like Ashley Hayden, again, obviously plays, like, an incredible game, but, like, that's such a fucking dumb move to vote out Proverb at Final 3. It's like, how do you take someone to, like, how do you, and again, like, I would not be surprised if, like, her and Ashley or her and Gigi were, like, very close, just due to the fact that they're, like, very similar age-wise and connect through that. But, like, how are you taking someone who is from the opposing tribe in a scenario where the majority of the jury, or not the majority, but 4 people on the jury are from her side and have no ill will against her? When people when you know, like, people like Kaz is going to be very bitter against you, like, it's insane, like, decision to make that she takes Gigi to the end. I see you later, True. 2 hours again. We're gonna end stream pretty soon. Who's a better player, Gigi or Natalie White? I think Natalie White is a better player. I think Natalie was more I think her game was a lot more intentional than Gigi's. Katinka got married? How old is Katinka? Actually, this is something I want to look up. Am I older than Katinka? I feel like I probably am, if I were to guess. This is going to be depressing. I actually want to look up the ages of these SA players, because I actually never pay attention to how old some of these people are. Katinka. Katinka was the youngest SA player at the time. Katinka and Martinez have the same last name. That's weird. Like, imagine if they were like it was like a cowboy and a Comas situation. Katinka was only 19. I didn't realize she was that. Like, I knew she was young, but I thought she was like 22 or something. Like, she's like 5 years younger than me. Probably, because, like, this is what, 3? Oh no, how long ago was this? This was 2018, right? 2018, so 3 years. Yes, it's just 4 years. That's depressing. Yeah, that's just weird. So Werner is 34. Annalisa's 44. I forgot she was that old. PK's 28. Tony would be over 40 at this point. So I think she's one of the older people to be on this all-star cast. I forgot Tevin was only 24. That's mind-blowing to me. I really thought Tevin would have been like 30. Ace was only 28. I think that's also my blind. I didn't think Ace was that young. But whatever. Let's see. Oh yeah, Mike is only like what, like 22 or 23 right now. So he's super young too. Jacques is what, 29? I guess that's about right. Steffi is 29. Or I guess she's 30 according to this, but either way. I forgot Doral and Rob were the same age. Actually, Doral is older than Jacques. Who's the better player, Jean or Jean Robert? Jean. It's probably not close. Wait. Maba was older than like Jacques and Cobus and a whole bunch of other people? What the fuck? Oh, CP's only 42. I think I would have told you the CP was like 50. Meryl's only 31. Yeah, I thought Meryl was like 40. Ting Ting's 25. Well, was 25, so she's like 27 now. How old are people from Media Island? Yeah, Nicole's my age. And Nella's younger than me. Well, he's probably actually around my, because like if this is by like how old they were when the season filmed, then he's probably like exactly my age. Because like I was 25 when the season filmed. By the way, I didn't know that. That Doral's last name was Mariano. Our birthday's on Thursday. Well, happy birthday. Are we 25? I'm trying to look up Anella's birthday. Not this matters at all. Why is it so hard to find these Survivor players' birthdays? Like, shouldn't everyone know Anella's birthday? Alright, doesn't matter. Chappie's 32, Kieran 29, Santoni 39. So yeah, CPay would be the oldest person on my, like, based on like how I see the cast playing out. Like CPay is the oldest by like at 42. Well, Santoni would be 40. And then, what was it? Tony's like 41. So it's all women too. Like, is there no older guys that are in contention? I mean, yeah, I probably will be streaming when your birthday hits. Because, yeah. It'll be immediately after Survivor. Which, yeah, if I'm not streaming, by the way. So this Wednesday, I am getting my booster shot. So, if I'm not streaming for whatever reason, more than likely something bad happened. But hopefully nothing bad happens. That'll be great. To be fair, last time, I didn't get sick until like 2 days afterwards. So we'll see. Supposedly the booster, supposedly you don't get as sick with the booster. But either way. Which, by the way, the only reason, I wouldn't be I was like, oh, I definitely need to get the booster, but it's I'm already getting my flu shot, so I was like, fuck it, I might as well get the booster at the same time. I've got a Ness who is only 29. Yeah, actually, yeah, I mean, I already told the story that if it wasn't for me getting my second COVID shot, then I probably wouldn't start streaming. Again, it was when I got sick from my second COVID shot that I decided, fuck it, let's start streaming. I did the first test stream that night. Because I got sick and then I had to call in sick at work. I was just laying there sick in bed, and I was like, you know what? Let's try out a stream. Who do you think is a better player, Dom or Wendell? Dom. Well, I think Wendell is probably the better player, but I think Dom played the better game. Who's the best Tom? If we're including Tommy, then I think Tommy. I think we're ranking them. I think it's Tommy, then Tom, then Well, fuck, I'm an idiot. It's Tommy, then Tom Westman, then probably, I don't know, Big Tom or Tom Schwartz. Like, obviously Tom Laidlaw's last, but like, I don't know. Is Big Tom better than Tom Schwartz? And they're very similar, like in terms of character. It's just that Big Tom's like more liked, but it's also like not liked by certain other people. I don't know. Not too fair. They're probably very similar. Honestly, Tom Schwartz. Fuck me. Tom Schwartz wins, but it's like Big Tom did get to the end twice. Both times in positions where he would have won if he got to the end, or could have won. Africa is like a bit more hazy, but I do think he wins All Stars if he gets to the end. I don't know. I would probably say Big Tom's above Tom Schwartz, but again, it's kind of an arbitrary one. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, I think we're probably gonna call it. What should I play next time though? I still haven't decided on that. I don't know what I'm gonna. I guess it probably will be Ratchet and Clank, just because I don't really have any other like better option, like more blatant better option. So I think we'll probably play Ratchet and Clank 2016. Again, it'll probably only take like 2 streams or so. We'll rush through that, and then I don't know what we're gonna play after that, but I guess we'll figure it out. Did I watch? Yeah, I watched the scene where Rupert goes on Survivor Israel, but I haven't actually watched like the full season or anything. I just watched the one scene. But yeah, it's fucking dumb. It's like who the fuck wanted Rupert as a reward? Especially because like Rupert actually lived with them, right? So like he was actually like eating their food and everything. So like that's all like definitely like more of a disadvantage than an advantage, but whatever. Oh fuck me! It's fucking 3:18 in the morning. Yeah. All right. I think we're gonna call it a night. It's a cool like little moment to see Rupert, but it's like I feel like after that wears off, it's like what benefit is Rupert really giving to your camp? I mean, I would rather have Rupert as my reward than Ben from Celebrity Survivor. Oh my god, I actually want to rewatch that season at some point. I will do a retrospective, but like if I'm gonna wait until 20-year anniversary, that's still 5 years away. So maybe I should try to do that earlier. That'll be so fucking funny. It's such a ridiculous season. Like it's so ridiculous that like I actually enjoy parts of it, but like what a fucking weird season that is. But yeah. Again, it's so weird. They literally bring in a fucking like random like soldier guy as a reward for the first immunity challenge, and then they just like proceed to vote him out and get on a celebrity season when he's not a celebrity. Everyone else is playing for a charity. He's not playing for a charity, which makes it like obviously they put him in there to be voted out. But it's so dumb. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, what is that season? Oh my god. Like, I can't, like, I actually really want to do that. Like, really want to do, like, an actual, like, in-depth retrospective of it, because it'll just be so fucking weird. Actually, I'm looking at this right now. Nicole from Celebrity Australian Survivor was only 37 at the time. Oh my god, Imogen's 44 now. Like, that's mind-blowing to me. I can't believe she's that old now. Hey, I'm too fair, it has been 15 years, but still, it's like, never thought about that. Gabrielle from that season's 47 now? Wait, what? Gabrielle has been nicknamed the Pleasure Machine. Okay, that's something. Oh, I never realized she was... Okay, so she's British, Indian, and Chinese. I never realized she was, like, that... whatever. I didn't realize that, she had that many ethnicities. But either way, how old is David at this point from that season? He's got to be, like, 60-something? 63. That's so weird. I never thought about that, how old these people are now. Yeah, Fiona is 55. Oh, Amber doesn't even have a Wikipedia page. Oh, I forgot Kim Johnson was the fucking first boot. What a weird season. It'll be so much fun to do a retrospective. Realistically, it probably won't be next year. I don't know. I mean, like, that's the weird thing with International Survivor, because, like, obviously I'm doing all these 20-year retrospectives right now, but, like, with International Survivor, a lot of these seasons, like, from this point on, I should say, like, there's massive gaps in between these seasons. Like, SA, like, I'm really, after the two that I'm like, doing next year with Australian Survivor 2002 and Survivor UK Panama, like, after that, there's a 4-year gap between that and the next batch of seasons. Where Australian Celebrity Survivor and SA Panama were the same year. But those were like 2006, so like there's a pretty big gap there. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do with those. I'll probably figure out. Like, I'll probably just do them randomly instead of waiting for a 20-year. But like, I'm also like not like in dire need of doing them right now. Like, I kind of have enough to do, like, videos to make right now, to where like I'm not like, oh, I need to be doing these videos. But yeah, Surprise Survivor hasn't tried to do a full celebrity. I mean, like, I would not be surprised if they tried. if they called out to people. And like, to be fair, I mean, like, already, like, Champions vs Contenders, like, I think it's mostly a celebrity season anyway, especially Champions vs Contenders 2. Like, you're even having people on, like, you're having like Sean Hammonds on on the Contenders tribe. And like Brains versus Braun is like a cast filled of like mostly non-normal people. So it's like, I mean, they've all but done a full celebrity season at this point. Like, if you mix, like, essentially, if you mix Champions Contenders 1 and 2 together, like, if you, like, make a full cast from those two casts, you have a full-blown celebrity season. So, yeah, like, it's like, and also, like, with this upcoming season, too, like, there's a lot of celebrities on there, too, right? Quote-unquote celebrities. So, like, I wouldn't be surprised if they, like, thought about it at a point. And then just like said, fuck it, let's just do more regular seasons, but just have more celebrities on them. But yeah, yeah. Either way, so yeah, we will be back on Wednesday. In the meantime, I will be working on this 541 review, finally starting that, and hopefully I can get around to editing these other videos that I've had recorded for a long time, because I'm really far behind on that as well. So, yeah, that'll be what I'm working on. But until then, see you guys on Wednesday. So, thanks for watching.